We're talking about John Penton and the Penton motorcycles that eventually became the KTM motorcycles. Well, that's why we've been calling that the John Penton GNCC since 2002. But before that, it was the Burr Oak GNCC, named for a lodge and some area not far from where we are right now in State Park, where, of course, a lot of great things take place in southeastern Ohio, even some great racing and riding over the course of time. But with that being said, back in Ohio, the stage is set, and what a great day we've got. 2 weeks ago, when we were in Beckley, West Virginia, some big surprises out there. Of course, Walker Fowler coming in. It was little known to a lot of folks, but barely cut the tip of his finger off and part of his fingernail on one of his fingers, which may or may not have slowed things down for him. But the one thing that did slow him down was the course itself. And, of course, he had some troubles while he was up front and battling for the lead throughout most of the race. He found himself trying to play catch-up toward the end of the race. Meanwhile, while that's all going on, Bryson Neal, who had a phenomenal day going early in the race, finds himself with troubles and issues, and eventually out of the lead that he had acquired. And lurking back in the background, a rider from West Virginia that, well, not a lot of folks may have been expecting things out of that day. We've seen some decent rides out of him, but to see the ride that we got to see out of him in West Virginia, the home state for the Gator, Adam McGill, was amazing. Once Adam McGill got out front, he laid down the law and showed the folks how to ride in the mountains and rocks of West Virginia, coming away with a big win. Cole Richardson able to wrap up a second-place position in that one, and Walker Fowler able to fight back from back in the pack to finish a solid third-place overall position. So even though he didn't take the win, the championship points race is not hurt, and Walker is, well, on his way to trying to break Chris Borich's overall wins of 75. Walker now sits at win number 60. He's looking for 61 here in his home state of Ohio today. The big question, will he be able to make that happen? There's a lot of variables to take into consideration as far as the weather is concerned. We've got great weather conditions, some overcast, partly cloudy skies on and off throughout the day, but temperatures right around that 80-degree mark. An absolutely perfect day for racing, and honestly, probably about as close to perfect track conditions that we can get this time of year. And to give us a little bit more about the course and what we can expect out there today, let's head down and talk with Jared Bolton.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to Sunday Creek Raceway. This time we're calling it the Burr Oak GNCC. Now, just because we're back here, don't let that fool you. This isn't the John Penton. It's got a very different feel to it. Everybody's so used to the Penton, they know what to expect when they come here. But we've used some different trail. We've put in, believe it or not, a little bit of new trail. It's hard to find out here. We've been racing here for over 30 years now. But we did find some new trail, and we've used some trail that, well, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I don't ever remember using some of these sections. So it's really cool. It's got a very different feel from the Penton this time by. It's a little bit tighter, a little bit slower, and finally, it's dry. However, it is going to be a little bit dusty in places, but the woods have some moisture. It's going to be a little bit different with that dust. It's nice to get a break from that slick Ohio muddy clay we're used to when we come here for the Penton. Overall, the Burr Oak is looking awesome. It's going to be a great weekend of racing. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Jared. A big day ahead of us, no doubt about it. The track is looking great. The facility here in southeastern Ohio for September, relatively, well, comfortable. And not only comfortable, but looking almost perfect for this time of year. So we're looking for a perfect race. Who's going to come out on top? Well, we'll have to wait about 2 hours to find out for sure. Stick around. GNCC Live continues right after this.
When you crave the canyon passes, rocky trails, rutted tracks, the podiums and personal records, it becomes part of you. The choice now is, do you become a wanderer or the wanderer? You just need to ride where you belong.
RacerTV.com and GNCC Live as we get the stage set for today's racing. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you would pause for just a moment and join with us, stand at attention, remove those caps, and cross those hearts as we honor the greatest nation in the world with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Well, there you have it, folks. The stage is set and GNCC racing about to resume here in the hills of southeastern Ohio. And as we get set to go racing today, of course, one more order of business, and that is introducing you to our starting lineup for this Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. Rolling to the line in accordance of points through the first 9 rounds of GNCC racing here in 2020. To the line first, riding aboard the number 1, hailing from Rogers, Ohio, a 60-time GNCC winner, as well as a 5-time GNCC and current defending champion on the factory Yamaha, backed by GBC Tires and Fly Racing, Walker Fowler. Rolling to the line second today in points, riding aboard the number 4 from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, on an action off-road GBC Moto Launch-backed Yamaha, Cole Richardson. Just 4 short weeks ago, here in the hills of southeastern Ohio, the place he calls home, aboard the number 2 from Bidwell, Ohio, he took the win. Can he do it again today? On a CST Hauser Racing Weisco Yamaha, the Bidwell Bullet, Bryson Neal. Rolling to the line next, aboard the number 5, he is 4th in points from Casca, Pennsylvania, on a Maxxis Elka Moose Racing backed Honda, Jared McClure. A 6-time GNCC champion with 75 wins to his credit. Aboard the number 3 from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, on board a Phoenix Racing Honda, Chris Borich. Fresh off a win just 2 weeks ago in the mountains of West Virginia, his home state. He rides aboard the 521, hailing from Waverly, West Virginia, on a McGill Mafia, Ober Tires, LSR Moose Racing backed Honda, the Gator, Adam McGill. Riding aboard the number 7 and 7th in points from Newfield, New York, on a Maxxis Ithaca Recreation Sports WPS and Fly Racing backed Yamaha, Hunter Hart. Rolling to the line today, 8th in points. He rides aboard the number 11 from Akron, Ohio, on a B&R Motorsports, GBC Motorsports, Hauser Racing Yamaha, JME 11, Josh Merritt. Aboard the number 712, the rookie from Waxhaw, North Carolina, on a Pierce Performance Fly Racing GBC Tires backed Yamaha, John Glotta Jr. And at 10th in points. Aboard the number 741 from Myersville, Maryland on a Wolf Racing 9.2 FTR Graphics Yield Cycle Barn Bag Suzuki, Wesley Wolf. Rolling to the line next, he rides aboard the number 10 from Aurora, Ohio, a 26-year veteran of this XC1 Pro class, backed by GBC, Fly Racing, HMF, and Factory Yamaha, Johnny G. Johnny Gallagher. The number 701 from Ithaca, New York, backed by Custom Access, Burr. And also hailing from New York aboard the number 406 out of Windsor on a Fly Racing GBC tires backed Honda, Jevin Feehan. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this, the Yamaha Burr Oaks GNCC. Again, our second round of racing here in, at Sunday Creek Raceway. I'm calling it Ohio 2.0. We also have the opportunity to resurrect the original name of the John Penton GNCC, which was the Burr Oak GNCC, and being able to do that and come back here to the great hills of southeastern Ohio. It's a revival of sorts as the Burr Oaks lives once again, my friends, and the overall trophies are certainly ones to be looking to win here today, because they are quite memorable and quite exciting looking trophies if you get a chance to see them for yourself. All attention turning up towards that first turn region where Ricky Towery right now, our conductor of ceremonies, the maestro if you will, gets ready to orchestrate these starts from this starting line once again. He makes his way to his podium, that first turn, and he lets the folks know with a tap of the podium 1 minute before we get the action up and rolling here in Ohio for a second time in about a month at this Millfield facility, Sunday Creek Raceway. Folks, the anticipations are high. The crowds are drawing thick here today, and Ricky Towery lets these riders on this starting line know to shut them down, guys. Shut them down, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. We are now less than 30 seconds away from going GNCC racing. And I got to ask you, Ohio race fans, one more time, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Hey, folks, this is Ohio 2.0. We came back just for you guys again. And I'm going to ask you one more time, because I think you can rock the nation right now. Are you ready to go GNCC racing? 10 seconds. And row number 1, the XC1 Pro, will be off and rolling at the Yamaha Burr GNCC. Around the first turn, Walker Fowler grabbing the early lead. JM11, Josh Merritt in second. Oh, good start for the 712, the rookie, but he drops back to about 7th place. Cole Richardson looks like maybe moving into that number 3 spot as we go to the XC2 Pro-Am class now. Drew Landers, Tanner Walker, Micah McAvoy, Charles Dunn, Kenny Schick, Brandon Owens, also Levi Cohen, Noah Mickelson, Daniel Peters, Wyatt Wilkin, Dylan Walraven, Austin Abney, and Ronnie Rush in 10 seconds. Another clean start. And around that first turn, that's the 713 machine. The 713. 703, I guess, of Austin Abney out of Petersburg, Indiana. Action Off-Road Maxxis Demery Motorsports. As we go to the college class coming up next, College A. 10 seconds. Mick Rice, Alex Thiemann, also Cody Forrester, Trey Seifert, Davis Brinson, Chase Allison, Gavin Jenkins, Zach Wright, Devin Masters, Corey Vandelier, and Stephen Harrell. The 908, Stephen Harrell from Elk Ridge, Maryland, taking the early lead here today. As we go to the Junior 822 plus class, Nick Davidson, Justin Miller, Caleb Edwards, Zach Wright, Alex Elioff, Dylan Taylor, Brad Enderly, Alan Blavos, Tyler Miller, Jonathan Cramble, Brody Livingood, and Brett Hinkey in 10 seconds. Brody Livingood out of Falling Waters, West Virginia. GNCC Motorsports, Pierce Performance, and Zebros Racing sponsored rider grabbing the early lead. Oh, mercy, what a get off in turn 3. That A30 Plus cash coming up next. Big Papa Pete, Jeff Pickens. Also, looks like Brad Whitehead, Dirk DeCesar, Chris Conklin, Aaron Hendershot, James Green, AJ Kuntz, or Tom Kuntz, Zachary Phillips, Dallas Goins, and Michael Lancaster. Little problems up. Oh, he's back up. He's mounting the machine. He's ready to rock and roll, making sure that he's out of the way and safe and okay. Ricky Towery, he says, yep, we're ready to roll, so let's go in 10 seconds. Around the first turn, the 120. That is going to be Aaron Hendershot from Mansfield, Ohio on an HBR B&R Spider Graphics back machine. Senior A40 Plus class coming up next. Shane Worth, Brian Axline, Craig Wilson, Jeremy Gouchard. 10 seconds. TJ Barrett, Brian Fulton, Mark Batson, Dale Batson, and the Marlboro man, Todd Muscala. I want to say thanks to the Batsons and all that crew over there last night for the amazing dinner they fixed, by the way. Hey, look at that, Marlboro man, Todd Muscala on a GBC Fly Racing HMF ride out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, taking the early lead in this one. Smoked them. College B 16-21 coming up next in 10 seconds. Stan the Man Johnson, Seth Blake, Braylon Secure, Jacob Fleming, Trey Redmond, Dominic Stevens, Ian Burns, Corbin Strock, Ramey Wilkinson, Levi Myers, also Michael Schneider, Josh Turner, Hunter Gotze, Chance Hickey, Ben Neville, Caden Ryan, and Colin Dunn. Rounding the first turn now out front. It is going, woohoo, the 402. Trey Redmond out of Sharpsville, Indiana on a Redmond Excavating DeRisi Racing Fly Racing back machine. Junior B 22 Plus class coming up next. Travis Mathias, Nick May, Colton Kasuda, Zachary DeNoble, William Wallace, Neil Tolston, Chris Leak. 10 seconds. Hunter Johnson, Tyler Foster, Tyler Moore, Justin Cotter, Corey Pancake, Sean Newhouse, Jacob Allball, Travis Raphael, Stephen Martin, and Brant Barna. .188. Nick May from the Nangahala, Pennsylvania on a B&R Motorsport GBC-backed Yamaha, taking the early lead in this one. And that brings us down next to the Bet B30 Plus in 10 seconds. Nathan Tickle, Daryl Short, David Kite, Kenneth Rich Jr., Derek Haynes, Ben Dunlap, Jason Ellis, Cody Holcomb, Dave Ashby, Wesley Smith, and Cody Stewart. Cody Stewart from Pleasant City, Ohio, B&R Motorsports, IMS Products, and GBC at that whole stripe first, but may have gotten overtaken there as we go to the Senior B 40 Plus in 10 seconds. Scott Wilhelm, Daniel Dakota, Ivo Pahalik, Jason Flaviano, Bobby McCauley, John Colvin, Nick Lambruno, and Robert Stevens. Ooh, I like that red one there. That is a pretty quad right there. That is the 407 of Jason Flaviano on a red Yamaha backed by B&R, GBC, and Fly Racing out of Guyard, Ohio. And that, my friends, is going to be it. That's our start here for this afternoon. And, of course, with that, beautiful sunshiny skies here in southeastern Ohio for Ohio 2.0. It's the Yamaha Burr Oaks GNCC. We'll have more on GNCC Live right after this.
When you crave the canyon passes, rocky trails, rutted tracks, the podiums and personal records, it becomes part of you. The choice now is, do you become a wanderer or the wanderer? You just need to ride where you belong.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
It's hard to put our adventures on hold, but now is the perfect time to prepare for their return. AMSOIL has your back with fast, free shipping, and ordering has never been easier. Just look up your vehicle, select your product, add an oil change to your cart, and check out. Spend $50 on AMSOIL products and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
Live coverage of the 2020 GNCC Series on RacerTV.com is brought to you by MMI. Get there faster, smarter. Specialized turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com. Get ready.
And welcome back to GNCC Live. I'm Mikey Waynes. You've already heard from my colleague Rodney Tomlin, and here shortly you'll be hearing from Ryan Amancio joining us in the booth, as well as Landon Wolf, who took a big win here today, convincing win here at the Burr Oak GNCC. There is something that a few of you folks out there may have never heard us say before, but for the folks that have been around GNCC racing for a number of years, you know that that is what we used to call this one. And then we call it the John Penton now. But either way, we're back. Second time here this season in what has been an absolute crazy 2020. But this is round number 10, the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. Beautiful Sunday Creek Raceway. And to get things started, we're going to take a look at those race starts with the specialized rapid replay of our XC1 and XC2 starts. And keep in mind, going back just a round ago, Adam McGill coming off the win here today. And if there's one thing we know, Walker Fowler, he doesn't like losing, but he certainly does not like losing 2 in a row. Fantastic start for the number 1 defending champ out in front and putting himself in position early on these guys. We'll see if this spells bad news. Weather has been beautiful this weekend. Certainly going to be a dusty one, to say the least, but setting up pretty well here. And that is into the Monster Mile, and you can see Walker Fowler still out in front. That Monster Mile may not be a full mile. This is live shot. All right, so we got a tight grouping with our XC1 guys moving through the Monster Mile. So Walker Fowler still out in front right now, not able to put a whole lot of distance between them. There goes Bryson Neal. Bryson Neal, man, was he back? Would have been 6th or 7th, I think.
Yeah, at the start, his 3rd corner, he went, I think it was like really slick, so he just dragged all the way to the outside and lost his 4th place position.
Not the best start for Bryson Neal, but a lot of racetrack left in this one. We'll see if he can't work his way back up there. Devin Feehan working through the Monster Mile. But again, Walker Fowler, certainly a guy doesn't like losing, certainly doesn't like losing 2 in a row. Certainly not the start these guys want to see out of Walker, but it is the start he wants to see.
Yeah,
there's the 703 of Austin Abney.
Wow,
and Johnny Gallagher behind Austin Abney. So I did not see any other XC2 guys.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
But boy, this is big for Abney.
Yeah.
Moving up quick up into the XC1 riders. Not good news for Johnny Gallagher as he's toward the back of the pack there.
Well, Austin Abney already has a big gap, so.
Yeah, Austin Abney.
Good. That's in his favor.
Only XC2 rider I've seen check through the Monster Mile so far.
There we go.
The battle that Abney. Really, the XC2, Ronnie Rush, Drew Landers, the battles that those guys have had in the XC2 class this year have really been a highlight of GNCC. This is mile marker number 6. As you can see on screen there, I believe this is about a 10.5 mile course for the pro race. More of our XC2 riders moving through the Monster Energy Monster Mile. And again, this racetrack, been racing here for a very long time. Ryan, you've raced this track a few times. What can these guys expect out of it today?
Well, this track, it's always slick or it's always dry. And today, it's probably more on the dry side.
Definitely.
But this track, I hate it. I don't like it at all. Like, it's probably one of the worst tracks, in my opinion, in GNCC, because here it's whatever way it is, whatever terrain it is, it's always hard. Like here in the woods, yes, but here's the thing. The woods, it's dusty, but is that rocks? That's rocks. So here is a mixture of so much things that just, you know.
It's a track that certainly changes its face at what seems like every lap. Now, to speak to some of the veteran riders, maybe it feels good for them because they know it so well. They've been here so many times, even though the track changes quite a bit throughout a race day.
And something
each
changed
year
here. Look at
into
that.
the FMF PowerPoint. Look at that.
Cole Richardson in front. Walker Fowler in second.
We've got our first lead change, and Cole hard on that throttle right there through the FMF PowerPoint. Man, not sure where he was able to get around Walker.
Look at Bryson Neal
unless we missed him earlier. We may have missed him. I don't remember seeing Bryson Neal check through, but boy, that's big for big for Cole Richardson.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, if you're out here and you hear us on the PA, Cole Richardson on the event t-shirt this weekend. So be sure to swing by Moto Tees and snag your event t-shirt with Cole Richardson on it. The Yamaha Burr Oak. So makes sense for a couple of Yamahas to jump out in front there through the FMF PowerPoint. So, okay, so they did just confirm we didn't miss Cole that first time around. He did pass him in between the Monster Mile and the FMF PowerPoint. So there goes Austin Abney. And boy, Abney is on the throttle today. Really not far off the rest of those guys in the XC1. There goes Johnny Gallagher up the FMF PowerPoint. And Johnny's got some time to make up here early in this one.
I'm going to say Austin Abney, he probably has the best start. Like, what is this? This is about to be a 20-second gap, maybe? just maybe.
It's in there.
It's around there, but it's Cole Richardson and Walker Fowler in the creek. And earlier today, they were talking about if they should go down the creek or take a left and go up the hill. And that...
Like that right there. Almost. I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
Adam Gordon came on the,
pass,
Mikey said, pass for the lead. It certainly looked like it.
Oh, yeah.
Some optical illusions. Hunter Hartstad down there.
And one thing, too, is that I think that's Adam McGill in third, maybe. I'm pretty sure he's in third, Adam McGill, which was our 2 weeks winner.
Yeah, in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Few things party harder than the people of West Virginia after an Adam McGill win. There's no doubt about that. Earlier this year, kind of turning it back, Bryson Neal, I believe, captured the win at the John Penton here earlier this season. So we'll see if he doesn't have some more of that magic here today. But boy, how about it, the start for Cole Richardson. This Monster Mile right here, certainly some of the more technical parts of this Burr Oak GNCC, and you can kind of see these guys picking their lines, being very methodical, being precise, keep it on 4 wheels, keep it rubber side down. Definitely not a spot unless you see somebody gambling last lap. It's usually single file through there, and wait to pick your battles. And of course, as soon as I say that, there we go. Little battle.
See, yeah, so
those are the 2 lines you're talking about.
So basically, I'm pretty sure they said the left lane was about 10 seconds longer. I mean, yeah, 10 seconds apart difference. So
but smoother.
Yeah, much smoother and much fast, high pace. Oh, but you know, this track is more technical. I mean, you don't want to go crazy and already break your bike, because here, as you guys can probably tell for people watching live, it's rocky. Like, that's just the nature of GNCC. Every race is always rocky. I swear, like, there's no race that's not rocky. But here is one of those technical, muddy, rocky, slick, but like, it's weird to explain because it's everything in one thing, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like, I feel like not breaking your bike is a good thing, especially on first lap.
It's a matter of survival for these guys.
Yeah. Because imagine this last lap, a battle for a lead here. Everyone's going to be setting this thing like they won't even see what the heck's in the way. You know, this. Oh, is that a rut already? I don't think so.
Wiggling through there.
Oh, yeah.
Can hear them off in the distance. We've been running about 19 minutes now, so here in probably the next 5 minutes or so, we should see them check in with 1 lap completed, be able to get timing and scoring on that to see the difference between Cole Richardson and Walker Fowler, who last time on screen, if you're just tuning in, Walker Fowler with the lead early in this one, and it looked like it was going to be one of those where he starts trying to pull away early, but Cole Richardson says not so fast, and by mile marker 8 here, we had Cole Richardson, or actually by mile marker 7, I should say, the FMF PowerPoint, we had Cole Richardson moving into the number 1 spot, and Walker Fowler behind him, and it was the same way through mile marker 8 here, which is what we're looking at on screen here, the Monster Mile.
Oh, yeah.
So certainly going to be a good one. Again, Adam McGill coming off the win in West Virginia just a couple weeks back. And we know you talk to Walker Fowler, he certainly doesn't like losing, but without a doubt, doesn't like dropping 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah. I can just imagine the last shot that we were looking at, probably around, 2 laps to go, something like that. And then traffic everywhere. Here is a spot where you can't, they probably already have their hidden lines, but I feel like here, if people are just stuck here, I don't think they could basically do anything about it unless taking the easy. But
you're SOL if you get stuck there.
Yeah.
You got to have some help.
Oh, yeah. But that would just be a big mess, having a traffic train already in the creek. And
so I believe we're going to take a look here at our track map that these guys give you an idea of what they're up against here at the Burr Oak GNCC.
Let's see, were you right, 10 mile?
Boom, there you go. So again, I believe it's about roughly a 10.5 mile course to be exact. So yeah, without a doubt, the Sunday Creek Raceway gives these guys a little bit of everything, and like you said, Ryan, it depends on the weather. If it's sunny like it is today, expect a dust bowl. It's going to get hot. It was cool all morning long, and I got to tell you guys that are watching at home, it's every bit. I think in this TV booth it's probably 90. Outside of that,
really
it's
hot,
definitely
yeah.
80. So it might be fall, but certainly doesn't feel that way. And after, if you look at the map right there at that 10-mile mark, I believe we're going to come out to a shot just past that. That should be our drone shot there after the 10-mile mark.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, John Penton, now Burr Oak, right?
Burr Oak for this
yes.
one, yeah.
It's just not fun here, because here, either way it is, it's probably rainy, it's probably dry, it's probably sunny, cloudy, whatever it is, the track will always be bad no matter what. That's why I do not like this track. My least favorite track is here.
Have you won here?
Racing, I know.
So that's why you don't like it, because you've not picked up a W yet.
I have got a W on the 65, but
okay.
Not on the 85, but I just don't like it at all. Like, even if I'm winning here or not, if I win here, I'll be happy, you know.
Yeah.
But like, it's not my favorite. I'll tell you that. It's like I don't know how to really explain it, but it just sucks.
It's got to be somebody's favorite, right?
Well, yeah.
Somebody out there loves the place. I tell you who probably likes it, Bryson Neal.
Yes.
He's always got his fan club here. I guarantee you they're out there today. They got the bright yellow Neal shirts on, or at least they did the last round. I think I saw a few there. So they got it today. Okay. I wasn't down at the start, but you can't miss them.
Oh, yeah.
They come out, they support him, and celebrate without a doubt.
And that is our leader, Walker Fowler. Looks like it's out front. No.
I don't know. I can't tell. We're pretty high up. So. That looked like Walker's chest protector.
Yeah,
still there in the number 2 spot. Look at that battle for third right there. Getting around him.
Wow. I'm surprised.
We got the bird's eye view.
Oh, yeah.
Trees looks like broccoli, man. Starting to change color. I feel like when we got here, everything was green.
Orange,
As the weekend rolls on, it's starting to change color on us here. So these guys should be entering the motocross track here soon, and we'll get a better idea of who's moved out in front. I think Cole's still out in front.
Yeah, that looks like Cole.
They're about to. They're on the moto track right now, so we've got some Cole's out front. About to turn. Gets a little squirrely right there. We'll see how Walker handles it. A little better.
I walked this track, just a moto track, and it's literally the same thing as ice. Like, it probably doesn't look like on camera, but here you're sliding everywhere. Like, look, they're sticking more to the berm side and not where the track is. It's just, I see them coming up. Bryson Neal.
Rodney just lifted the tent, and I think it dropped 10 degrees in here.
Yeah, just one.
Puncture some holes in this thing. So there you go. 1 and 2 crossing the finish line right there.
It looks like Bryson Neal.
So Cole Richardson in that number 1 spot. The time difference, timing and scoring, 1.671 seconds, and you can see him on screen right there. Walker just kind of staying right with him. Let's see how Cole courses this terrain. Walker, veteran, he knows what he's doing, staying tight there with him. And I got to say, I'm kind of surprised they're not kicking up more dust. That speaks to how hard packed that is.
And one thing I'll tell you, too, I'm surprised Bryson Neal's made his way up to third place. And when we first saw him, he was pretty back. He was far in there. And now he's already in third, catching up with Walker and Cole. He's probably about, I'm going to say 7 to 10 seconds off them, maybe?
Yeah, 7.5 seconds back. But, yeah, I think you're right. He's on the charge.
Oh, yeah. Bryson Neal, I feel like this is his hometown, you know? Like, he always does good here no matter what. Yeah, unless bike breaks, but we don't want that, you know?
Extra confidence boost for Bryson Neal. Adam McGill in the number 4 spot, the 521 Honda, a second off of Bryson Neal when they checked in. Josh Merritt, good start for him, the number 11 Yamaha. Back in the number 5 spot, John Glada Jr. In the number 6 position with Jared McClure 7th. Into the pits we go. Got to thank these guys. If they're feeling good, they're just going to keep on ripping through there.
Oh, yeah.
Walker Fowler around. cheering these guys on. Jared McClure 7th again. Hunter Hart in 8th place. Chris Borich, not a good start for him. As a matter of fact, falls with timing and scoring, falls into the number 10 spot. And how about Austin Abney, the 703?
Already in 8th overall.
8th overall, first in the XC2 class. And I think
XC2 riders
he is the only rider. I take that back. Drew Landers does check in. So let's see.
Right.
So Wyatt Wilkin checks in as well as Drew Landers. Drew Landers in the number 2 spot. Already a 35-second difference between the 703 of Austin Abney and the 14 machine of Drew Landers. Wyatt Wilkin, good start for him in the number 3 spot. 2.5 seconds back from Drew Landers. And Brandon Owens, another guy that is certainly capable of snagging a win.
And I'm going to tell you something from experience. Having at least a 20-second gap from the first lap, you know you're in for a good day, because you have basically the time that you have right there, you can take half that second off and, you know, ride your own race and go your own pace, you know, not pushing as much. That would be really helpful final lap. If you can hold that, final lap is going to help him a lot. Look at the dust. That is Bryson Neal.
Bryson Neal. He's back just far enough, keeps that dust out of his eyes. Starting to see a little bit of distance now between Richardson and Fowler.
But that's probably mostly of the dust, isn't it?
Yeah, you think once they get in the woods, maybe this thing will pull up a little tighter.
Oh yeah, the woods are basically open. I didn't see any single trail there, so a lot of lines in the woods, which could come in handy for some people, and could not. But this track overall, a lot of people like it. I don't. My dad loves it, and I make fun of him for that. But you know, that looks like Walker Fowler.
Still on his heels.
Yep.
Still playing some catch up.
And Cole Richardson, he did what he had to do. Just got into the lead and is trying to pull away.
It's going to be that accordion effect as it rolls on. Those guys just going back and forth and back and forth.
And the thing too is that Cole Richardson, he's getting no dust in his eyes. He has a clean race. There's nothing in front of him.
Speaking of dust, guys, the first time that I remember being here, and probably one of the dustiest races that I can remember in GNCC history, took place in a September 2002 right here at obviously the then new and young Weisco John Penton GNCC.
Yes.
I wasn't even born.
Exactly.
You weren't even born, yeah.
You weren't even born. You see how you see those plumes of dust at different areas? Well, on that day, you could literally follow the riders around the woods.
Oh my goodness.
There was a big trail of dust. It just looked like the woods were on fire with the dust that was coming up out of the trees. And you could literally see where the leaders in the pack was on that first lap of racing. It was one of the wildest things I think I've ever seen in the history of being a part of GNCC racing. It's a little dry out here today, but like I've stated earlier in the weekend, there's a good moisture base underneath this dry soil on top. It's a little powdery and a little plumy out in the open sections, but down in the woods, it's not really all that horrible whenever you look at it. I mean, it's dry in some of the areas that get some sun, but in the deeper wooded sections of these race courses, it's really good and moist out there. So I think overall these guys have got a really good diverse track. They'll have obviously many of the same obstacles that they saw when they were here a few weeks ago, and then back here now this weekend under a little different conditions, with it being drier, a little different race course and things of that nature. So in essence, though we're here for a second time so close together, it almost feels like we're kind of at a different place out on the race course.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Rodney, I have to give a quick shout out. So we've crowned, three national champions today. I wanted to give a shout out to the micro bike champion, Colby Goodman. We'll probably talk more about him tomorrow, but he wrapped up, that's his second micro championship. And then Bodie Buchanan wrapped up the micro ATV championship.
Really?
And then Hannah Hunter, Hurricane Hannah Hunter, wrapped it up for the WXC. And I want to give a shout out to Stephen Harrell. And that that is because he's leading the College A. He's 19th in the overall, and that happens to be Hannah Hunter's boyfriend, I found out today.
Wow.
And I asked her on the podium, I said, who's faster? And she said him. And I said, no, come on, you're the national champion in the women's class. There's no way he beats you. And I said, well, is he going to win today? She's like, well, he better. Well, Stephen Harrell, there you go. You're off to a good start, my friend.
I tell you, he's got a little bit of comfort in knowing that one competitor in that College A class is minus.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Grayson Eller, the 171 rider who is a points leader, was looking at a top 20 overall for the 2020 season. And he had an incident in Texas last week. We were down at Three Palms Raceway in Houston, Texas, and he had a little bit of an incident, kind of jacked his knee up pretty bad. He went and got it looked at. I haven't talked to him since that day. He just said, I know it's messed up. He said, I feel it. It didn't look all that great, so I'm thinking, you know, this might be an injury that might take him out for a few weeks. Hopefully he'll be back for some more rounds of GNCC racing before it's all said and done, but that's still a very tender injury for him. So Grayson Eller out of this one. And regardless, you know, I have to think, you know, Steve may have had his hands full today, but I believe Grayson may have had his hands full today too.
No doubt about it. Well, it's Cole Richardson out in front. Walker Fowler trails behind him in the number 2 spot, doing that accordion effect right now, going back and forth. Can Cole hang on? Will Walker prevail? We'll be right back with more GNCC Live in just a second.
When you crave the canyon passes, rocky trails, rutted tracks, the podiums and personal records, it becomes part of you. The choice now is, do you become a wanderer or the wanderer? You just need to ride where you belong.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lieb, the director of On Track School. How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association. Racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young, and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track. And we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer. We win and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
Grand National Cross Country is America's premier off-road motorcycle racing series. Riders compete on extended cross-country courses of 8 to 12 miles per lap and races lasting up to 3 hours. Up the mountains and through the trees, you'll find the best riders in GNCC. On MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
Our off season has been pretty busy with everything going on. You know, we've still been doing a little bit of racing here and there, but with the COVID stuff that's been going down, it's been nice to reconnect with family and see people again that I don't get to see throughout the year because of, you know, you're always traveling, you're always busy. So I even picked up a fishing pole when we was on break. So for me, it was nice to be able to relax a little bit, but still be able to put in the work I needed to do to be able to still stay competitive. And to be able to come out round one after the break, to me, to be able to win that is honestly like winning the first round out at the beginning of the year. It sets the tone for the rest of the, well, now we call it 5 races till the end of the year. And to be able to do that, especially at West Virginia, it was rocky, it was gnarly, it was technical, and we don't have snowshoe this year. So to be able to claim the Valley, I call that a win. So we're looking for a good race here today at the Burr Oak. We're looking for a good race here at the Burr Oak. So we'll see what happens here in about 2 hours.
Oh, hey, Adam, you scared me. Hey, what's he got? What is that, an alligator? That did scare me. That scared me quite a bit, as a matter of fact. As we welcome you out here.
There we go.
Back to the Burr Oak GNCC. It's the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC, home of the John Penton at Millfield, Ohio. I'm calling it Ohio 2.0 here in 2020.
That works.
And, of course, man, what a race we've got underway already. Rodney Tomlin joining you, along with Mikey Waynes and the birthday boy of Ryan Amancio, 12 years old today.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Ryan. We'll be having him back in studio here in just a few moments. There is the number 3 of Chris Borich, who, wow, having some issues back there, all the way in a 10th place position at the end of that first lap of racing. But the way this race is pretty much broke down, Cole Richardson got out front, and he's pretty much controlling the pace of this when he's got Walker Fowler close behind in second, Bryson Neal in that number 3 spot, McGill back there a little further in the 4th place position, and Josh Merritt, JM11, who got off to a really strong start today in a top 5 position. You have to wonder if he's going to be able to hang on. This could be a breakout day for Merritt if he can hang on to a top 5 position today. But guys like, John Glotta, he's obviously back there. He's a rookie. He's fast. And also Jared McClure, who's normally a part of the top 5 as we roll through these battles. Looks like we're getting back into some of our XC2 racing. By the way, speaking of which, Austin Abney got the whole shot in that one on the 703 machine. Currently leading in the XC2 Pro-Am class is 8th place overall. And that puts us back to Drew Landers, the number 14, who's about 34 seconds back in that number 2 position. There's Landers coming right now here at the 4-mile marker. This is the battle for the number 2 spot in the XC2. Wyatt Wilkin, the 621, Brandon Owens, the 246 in the 3rd and 4th place positions as well. Mickelson, Ronnie Rush, all right there. Steve Harrell in there as well. So, I mean, the thick of the meat is right there battling it out for the front of this pack, it looks like, Mikey Waynes.
Yeah, that the battle for the 2nd place position in the XC2 looked almost like a carbon copy for the top 3 in the XC1.
I think that was Johnny Gallagher that maybe just went by. Gallagher's having a rough way to go, it looks like, here in his home state of Ohio. The 26-year XC1 class veteran rolling through this area of the race course. Is that, I want to say Noah Mickelson, but I don't think Mickelson's out here with us today. I'm not real sure.
I think that was him, actually, yeah.
He's dropped way back in this XC2 Pro-Am class here today. There's a 622 machine. That's Dylan Walraven. So actually Noah not doing as bad as what I thought, but Noah's actually running like 6th or 7th. These guys are just starting to get spread out, it looks like, here at the 4-mile marker now.
That nails it right there. 7:03 of Austin Abney, that 8th place overall. It wasn't the end of lap 1, and he was already moving up the pack into the XC1 guys. The guys riding on rails, I was saying earlier.
New leader. Do we have a new leader here at the 6-mile marker? It is Bryson Neal. Now Cole Richardson back in the number 2 spot.
Wow.
Walker Fowler in 3rd here at the Flat Rock. Man, that is a very challenging area here at the as a part of the Monster Mile section of this race course. But here we go, folks. It is maybe looking like 3 wins in a row here in Ohio for Bryson Neal. He won last year in 2019.
I wondered that.
He won here in 2020 this year, and if he backs it up with another win here today, wow, that would be pretty phenomenal to be able to pull 3 wins off at the same track in 2 years, and that would be his 4th win ever, career win. So pretty amazing. But we're still early in the race. Those guys are very nose to tail right now. So that race is not over by any stretch of the imagination. I believe that was Merritt going by there, if I'm not mistaken, on the number 11. And McGill also out there. There is the 712 of the rookie. That is, once again, John Glotta Jr. Is that Hunter Hart? Yeah, Hunter Hart. You know, that's a rider we haven't really talked a whole lot about this year. He got that big win at Ironman last year at the end of the season. Looked like the first couple of rounds we might get to see some big things out of him. But after the COVID-19 pandemic break that we had and got back into racing, he just hasn't been back there. I don't know. Maybe, you know, he got out of sync during that training. And to say that is not really that far from base, I don't think, whenever you say that, because some of these guys, that they're synced to certain things and certain times of the year, and they had that monkey wrench thrown into that stick in the cog, so to speak, and the wheels there. So it just kind of threw things off, I think, momentum-wise for some of these riders. Chris Borch having a little tougher day today than what we're used to seeing Chris have on that Phoenix Racing Honda. I know I talked with Chris last night, jokingly went up, I pulled up to him, and I seen Adam McGill about 2 pits down, and I said, hey, dude, if Adam McGill can get a win, you know you can get one too still. And had a little bit of fun with him, talked about the season and you know how things have progressed for him and what he's looking forward to in the future and things of that nature. So Chris is still, you know, a good solid champion. There's your leader in the XC2 Pro-Am class, Austin Addy. Man, he is. Dude, he seems like he is.
He ridiculous.
Is. Somebody get a fire extinguisher.
I gotta add, you know, so he keeps putting on social media hashtag most hated. I don't know if he wants that to be his nickname. I don't know what it's about, but I like it. Whatever it is, it's working.
I don't hate the kid. I don't
either.
I kind of like the kid, man. So unfortunately, he feels like it. Maybe it's the other competitors that he feels like that.
It could be.
Him. But you know, sometimes people get in certain way in places, and you know they expect people to act certain ways, and if they don't, they start feeling like, well, maybe people don't like me, and that's not necessarily the case sometimes. It's just a bigger picture out there sometimes.
Neil wants it. Look at that, clean through the FMF PowerPoint. Wow, where's Walker? These guys, man, these guys were wheel to wheel. Now we're seeing a little space in there.
Yeah, Walker.
It could possibly be about the dust too. I don't think dust would be up to eye level, but you never know, maybe.
It could be a breathing issue. I know Walker is one of those riders that has asthma, so it could be an instance for him. It may be making it a little tougher for him to breathe out there. By the way, Ryan, I mentioned it while you were out of studio. Want to say happy 12th birthday to you today as you celebrate. And, of course, I know you got a big race coming up tomorrow, and we are certainly so glad that you're okay. At the last race, just to let people know that didn't know, you were a victim of carbon monoxide sleeping in your camper, were you not?
Yes. I mean, till 12 o'clock at night, everything was fine. Just my sister, but like she didn't really say anything, so we didn't really know, and she was throwing up a lot, but it really started happening all around 2-3 o'clock in the morning. That's
oh my goodness.
So this bit of safety as Bryson Neal continues to lead things and try to stretch things out here now at the 8-mile marker, there is still Cole Richardson in the number 2 spot, and Walker Fowler still lurking back in the number 3 position. Safety is of the utmost. If you're at the races here, if you're camping someplace else, if you've got a generator, please make sure that everything is well ventilated. You've got a good access for the exhaust to escape the area and not get back up into your campers and things like that. It's just something to note.
Yeah, and if you do have a generator, just please don't put it in your garage like me and my dad did. Because if you put it in the garage and leave the door open, but please put it outside somewhere where the exhaust is nowhere near your garage.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, it can cause a lot of problems, and that's good to see. There is some guys not having problems today. Not the
Merrick's doing well.
I am super stoked for JM11, man. I'm banking and hoping that he gets him a top 5 ride today. This could be the ride that switches things for him. You know, we talk about that elusive switch, that switch is so hard to find, and once it flips, then all of a sudden things change, and this could be the day. This could be what we're looking for, and Josh Merrick could be looking for as far as that. Kind of like what we'd hope was the win for Hunter Hart there at Ironman there at the end of the last season. And I'm not dumb. I don't think that Hunter Hart's done by any stretch of the imagination. I just think he's had, like I said, this little bit of an off year.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
growing pains.
It's definitely one of those years. This year is unique to anything we've ever done.
Yeah.
But I think it has paid off this year. If you're one of those veteran riders, you can roll with the punches. If you're one of those young riders like John Glotta, like Hunter Hart, it's a little easier. Not saying that they're easily rattled, but it's a little easier to rattle those young guys. You get them off their routine a bit, and they're like, "Oh no, this is the end of the world." Whereas some of your veteran riders, they're like, "No, we're good. We can get through this."
Oh, and I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but Chris Burr just went by. Did you guys know that he's a twisty guy?
He's a what?
Twisty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Twist throttle.
Twist throttle.
Yeah, and that's something we haven't talked about. Some of the riders do elect to go with a twist-type throttle, Chris Borch being one of those.
And Johnny Gallagher. I only, there's Austin Albany, but I only knew that after last race. So, like, it's weird because I wonder how it would feel because, like, I don't know. It's like.
Yeah, I know. I've never ridden one.
Twisting it is like weird. But
I've never ridden a twist throttle ATV, so I don't know what it would do. It probably wouldn't be so much different. There's Devin Feehan, another rider that appears to be having a little bit of struggles as far as today's racing is concerned here in Ohio. And, you know, we talked about the diversity of the track and the conditions and things of that nature from, what was it, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, I think that we were here. And for the John Penton GNCC. And I know Bryson Neal, man, he was on a rail that day, and he was able to make things happen. There's your second place ride in the XC2 Pro-Am class here at the 8-mile marker. That is WFR Landmill XC's racer Drew Landers in that number 2 position of that class. It looks like they're kind of nose to tail up here in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th place positions now. Wyatt Wilkin, Brandon Owens right there. We do have a little bit of a gap back to Noah Mickelson, but let's take a look now at some of the action from the Wiseco John Penton GNCC just a few short weeks ago here at Millfield's Sunday Creek Raceway, where we saw Chris Borch take the whole shot in this one, and Walker Fowler back there in that number 2 position quickly to the front of the pack. He was able to kind of stretch things out there, and it looked like early on he was going to be man to beat. It looked like it was just going to be nothing but real estate between him and whoever happened to be in second, which was Bryson Neal. But then things like this started happening. I mean, this wasn't the only thing. Walker had this happen down at the Split Rocks, and then, of course, he tagged a tree out here. A couple other places he got tangled up with some trees and some lap traffic and stuff, and that allowed that gap to close for Bryson Neal. So as the gap closed, he pulled up on Walker Fowler, and as we were in the closing moments of the race, the closing lap and a half or so, he was able to make the pass, and once he made that pass, it was all over but the crying. I mean, he's got a few leaves in that helmet cam on top of his helmet. You can see maybe searching out some alternative lines, but whatever it was, it took him out to the lead. He took he took it and ran with it, literally, and opened up quite a bit of a gap. And as we rolled through the closing moments, as you can see, they were starting to realize that Bryson Neal was going to take his 2nd consecutive win here in Ohio at the Wiseco John Penton GNCC, and his 3rd career overall win. And that happened just a few short weeks ago right here in Millfield, Ohio. And the way the stage is setting right now, man, you have to wonder if maybe Bryson Neal might be on track to pull something like that again. Yeah, his 3rd consecutive win in Millfield in 2 years. And I would almost have to say he would probably be the only rider that might be able to say that.
Yeah,
unless
you might be right.
Let's look back at, and I don't think we had the same winners and that kind of consistency through the Bulldog and the General GNCC, because we raced there twice this year as well. So maybe a historic bit of historic proportion. And the coolest thing about all that is, to me, is the fact that he's like 40 minutes to his front step. You know, I mean, he steps out of his room, walks out, boom, 40 minutes later, he's sitting at the racetrack here in Millfield, Bidwell, Ohio, located over near the river near Gallia, in Gallia County, actually, near Gallipolis, Ohio. It's a lovely, quaint little city, the city of Village, the city of, I should say, of Gallipolis, Bidwell, nice little village over there as well. Just a great area, great people, and it's not far from where I'm from, so I really like the people.
There you go. Yeah, of course, yeah. There's just nothing sweeter, I think, for a rider, for as a professional level, amateur level, doesn't matter. Winning in your home state, but winning in, boy, look at that lead.
Yeah, in your backyard, and look at this. Now, I don't want to get too overly excited for Bryson Neal, because we saw him, you know, well, and the terrain was a little different with those rocks and stuff. I ended up breaking an A-arm or a spindle. Broke something on that quad that took him out of the lead and took him out of a winning position out there. But here today, I don't think we'll probably have to worry about those types of conditions. But, man, what kind of speed does this kid have, honestly? I mean, we thought we'd seen it before, but these are levels of speed that I don't even know that we knew existed for Bryson Neal in this XC1 Pro class.
As he peeked over his shoulder there, thinking a couple things. I can't believe I got this lead early, and they got to be coming up on me, right? They got to be somewhere back there, but no. No, not yet, man.
But I think half of the thing could be that he's like, this is his backyard, but I think the other thing is his confidence here too, because he probably thinks to himself, I won here twice. So that means I could probably do it again.
And you know, Bryson is one of those riders that does bode well with a bit of confidence under his belt. Whenever he is confident, usually he's very tough, and Walker knows that. That's why Walker's always trying to play on his confidence. Yeah, where is Walker? That is a big question right now. But finishing that thought, Walker, and these guys do this a lot. If you do pre-race interviews, social media, and different things like that, he'll say little things that won't necessarily be directly to those guys, but in a roundabout way, they are picking up what he's putting down, so to speak. And that's how he tries to play with their confidence. And you know, and that's one thing that really helps out for the number 2 machine, Bryson Neal. So if he can stay off social media and keep Walker Fowler out of his head, he might be a stiff competition for a championship coming up.
Maybe that's what Austin Abney's learning. Maybe he learns, hey, if I talk about myself, I'm most hated. It plays on the minds of his fellow riders, not so much on the mind of Austin Abney, but he knows it's working on the other guy. Something's working. Well, there's no doubt about that.
He knows we hate him, so what are we going to do to get under his skin?
Exactly. Yeah. It's all mind games. It's as much strategy outside of the track with social media these days as it is on the track.
Rumor has it, though, Mikey Wings, he thinks you hate him more than anybody.
Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah, us Indiana boys, we got to stick together.
Yeah, that's a joke for
everybody back home's like, is Rodney serious?
That's a joke. Hey, here we are in the pit stop at MMI Pit Stop here for Motorcycle Mechanics Institute down on BP Fuels Pro Road, trying to get as much of that fuel. Didn't take on a lot of fuel. I don't think they're using a lot of fuel today.
No.
Gas mileage has got to be great out there. Not a lot of wheel spin, not a lot of horse-robbing terrain out there that's going to suck up a lot of that power and a lot of that fuel. So these guys, you know, maybe even been able to run most, if not the entire race, on one tank of fuel. There's Walker Fowler in. He's getting a tank of fuel. How much fuel is he going to be taking?
I think it's going to be a full tank, too.
Yeah, full tank, but it didn't take, I mean, maybe half, not even half of the quick fill there. Here comes Adam McGill in now. That puts McGill still in that number 4 spot as he rolls in and Walker Fowler rolls out. That gap now opening up to probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 seconds as opposed to the 1.2 that we saw about a lap ago. Man, look at this. I mean, free, clear racetrack. The smooth, there's no train tracks from this morning's racing, from the 4x4s and stuff like that, because the ground isn't soft enough for that out here today. It's that hard-packed clay with that silty dust on top in these open areas like this. So these guys, this right here, especially if you have nobody in front of you, got free air ahead of you like Bryson Neal does, man, you can lay it out right there. I mean, you've got a racetrack. You see every line, you see every bump, you see every turn coming at you, and you can push the envelope and the limits at that point.
That's exactly what he's doing right there. And I got to say, for the pits, for these guys, it always seems like when I'm down there, everybody in a situation like this where Neal and Richardson, you got 2 riders in front of Walker Fowler, it seems like all the pits, they're excited. The Neal pit's excited, the Cole pit's excited, but they're all asking the same same question. All right, we got to hustle through this. Where's Walker?
Right.
Where's Walker? The whole race, just on reputation alone, you're all constant. And it's the same thing tomorrow with Caleb. If you're not Caleb Russell and you're in the lead, you're constantly thinking, where is Caleb? Where is he going?
And, I want you to take note, too, as we're looking at this beautiful shot from the Yamaha Racing Skycam. Look at the trees and the foliage on the trees. Remember when we were here how green and bursting with just aliveness that things were? Well, we're into the first official weekend of fall 2020, and you can see here in southeastern Ohio that fall is starting to take a little bit of a root. We're seeing some different shades of green and yellows, some browns, some reds, all starting to come through. It's really starting to shape up to be a very beautiful time of year. And, even though it's a little dry around this time, if we can get a weekend like what we've got here this weekend, man, I mean, these are great weekends to be in Ohio like this.
Chuck LeMaster, and you talked about it this morning before any of the racing started. Chuck was saying this weather feels like it is textbook ATV and dirt bike riding weather. When you think of it, it's fall, starting to cool off a little bit, but it's not cold by any means. This is absolute perfection.
Perfection, and Bryson Neal trying to remain just exactly that as he continues to open up the lead. We near the 1 hour mark now, 56.5 minutes into the Burr Oak GNCC. Again, for those of you wondering why is it the Burr Oak, if you're not a history buff, I'll tell you why it's the Burr Oak. Well, originally in 1990, it all began here at the Russell Family Farm, a.k.a. Sunday Creek Raceway, and of course, Burr Oaks is a state forest that's not far from down here, and to pay patronage to that and this area being known as the Burr Oak area, they called it the Burr Oaks. Yeah. And so with that, that went from 1990 until through 2001. Then in 2002, to pay homage to the great John Penton, who was a living legend.
Oh yeah.
They renamed the GNCC to the John Penton GNCC. Well, with the opportunity to return to Ohio for a second time, they thought it only fitting to revive. We've got a revival of sorts with bringing back the Burr Oaks name. And the Burr Oak name, I guess, should be more technically said. But regardless, it's just cool. To me, it's kind of neat because we get to talk about histories that we don't get to talk about. Bryson Neal out front there, almost called you Megawatt. Mikey Waynes.
I'll take it.
I've been working with Mega. We worked with Loretta Lynn's for forever, it seemed like, together, and then he worked at Beckley a couple weeks ago. But Mega Mike.
Mega Mike, there we go. Actually, just talked to Megawatt at Ironman Pro Moto a couple weeks ago. So
Richardson still back in that number 2 spot. What's the big surprise for you right now? There's Walker Fowler still in the number 3 position.
Obviously, well, I'm not going to say I'm surprised by Neal out front just because of what he's done the last 2 times. I'm more surprised that Fowler's in 3rd.
Right.
I think I wouldn't be shocked if he were in 2nd right now, and I wouldn't be shocked if it was Neal or Richardson in front of him. But to this point in the race, Fowler's in 3rd. It's not because he's gotten wadded up somewhere. He's just getting beat right now by Neal and Richardson. He's just getting beat, and you kind of start thinking, if you're McGill, if you can keep Walker in your sights, that's got to be a confidence boost for McGill, because he might be thinking, well, if eventually Walker's going to throttle down, he's going to try and get in front of those guys. I want to tag along right behind him. So I think, my eyes are on McGill as well. And, of course, it keep going down the line. But McClure, the fantastic start for him.
Yeah, McClure's going to be one to keep an eye on. He's been trying to claw his way back up through the pack. We'll be keeping an eye on Chris Borch as well, who opened up in 10th place at the end of the first lap of racing. But right now, folks, Bryson Neal opening things up here at the Burr Oak GNCC. Cole Richardson in 2nd. Walker Fowler still back in the number 3 spot. He's still alive, but, man, he's still got a big fight to get ahead to those guys in front of him. So, the big question is, was win number 61 going to come along today, or is Bryson Neal going to take his 4th career win and his 3rd right here at the Millfield Racing Facility? Stick around. The Burr Oak GNCC continues after this.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment. Whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
It's hard to put our adventures on hold, but now is the perfect time to prepare for their return. AMSOIL has your back with fast, free shipping, and ordering has never been easier. Just look up your vehicle, select your product, add an oil change to your cart, and check out. Spend $50 on AMSOIL products and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lieb, the director of On Track School. How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association. Racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track, and we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer, we win, and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
Yeah, last race we had a really good race going. We got third off the line, moved in second as soon as we got into the woods. Walker and me and Adam, we was all having a pretty good battle, you know, all of us rolling together. I made a pass on Walker on lap 3 right before the end, and then I passed Adam about the 2-mile marker right before that on the last lap, and just put the hammer down. I got a little gap, you know, and made about 3 miles to go before the finish, and I was just cruising. I was checked out. Just had to ride the bike in, you know, make it, and I had a failure happen to me that's never happened before, out of my hands, and ultimately cost me a DNF and the win. But you know, that just goes to show that, you know, we won the last race time that we was here at the John Penton. And then the following race, we put it in a heater race. You know, we ran Walker down 50 seconds. No one's really done that in the last 5 years on a hot, dry, straight-up day. We worked hard all.
Well, I tell you what, that interview right there, I think, said so much, man. I mean, that right there, wow.
Confidence.
It's confidence. But, you know, he pointed out something that that we recognize, but we did not recognize. And that is the fact that he chased Walker down here in Ohio, passed him, beat him.
Yep.
He chased Walker and everybody down in West Virginia, passed him, and was going to beat him, but had the mechanical issue he talked about. Today, he's done the same thing. And he did it even earlier, and he was out front.
Walker on screen. We didn't miss. Maybe we missed. We had to miss Bryson.
Yeah,
we've been here for a minute.
Yeah, so we're going to go under that assumption that there are no changes and that Walker would still be your third place position right now. But regardless, there is there's
so
place.
There's that. Okay.
Adam McGill. Adam's not looking too far off pace of what Walker Fowler's running right now either. And just to give you an idea of the changes that we saw since lap 1, Cole Richardson was leading with Walker Fowler in second. Bryson Neal was in the number 3 spot, about 8 seconds behind Walker Fowler, who was about 2 seconds behind Cole Richardson. So, thank you. He was about 10 seconds out of the lead, so he made up that 10 seconds, and then he's gapped these guys. Dude, I'm telling you, it's a 10-second gap or better right now over that second place position. I haven't put a clock on it, but every time they go by, it just seems like that gap is getting larger and larger and larger between first and second place. And the same thing between second and third, between Cole Richardson and Walker Fowler right now. And I don't know if these guys are just falling into a pace today, whether, Walker's, like I said, we talked about the dust. Even though it's not an issue, is it an issue for guys with breathing problems? Could Walker Fowler be experiencing some breathing issues from it? Maybe, maybe not. And Walker will tell you, just like anybody else, sometimes these guys are just fast, and he knows they're getting faster. He knows that they're coming. He's mentioned it on multiple occasions. That's why he tries to keep that confidence level so high. But even with what Bryson was saying, him being able to track him down basically now for 3 consecutive races in a row like this, that's saying something about the confidence of Bryson Neal, saying something about the talent and speed of Bryson Neal as well, and taking nothing at all away from any of his competitors.
That's exactly right. I don't know if you saw, Walker Fowler posted something of his XC2 championship, and he had this gold plate. I can't remember what round that would have been, but he went undefeated in that XC2, that 250 class. And he said, I still think this is possible in the XC1. Obviously, we know that's not going to happen this year. He did come up 1 race shy of it back in 2017, but I almost wonder if these guys read that and they think, well, yeah, you're not going to be undefeated this year, but it's almost like, well, hang on a second, I'm still here. Bryson Neal, I'm Cole Richardson, I'm McGill, whoever, I'm still here. I take offense to it. I don't want you getting all those wins.
Well, we go back to the what I said. It's a mind game thing, man. I mean, that's one of those indirect mind things that to just poke him right there in the head and say, hey, what's he trying to say here?
Yeah.
And build his confidence, obviously, and in a sense kind of demoralize you and realize, because when Walker's confidence is high, man, he's hard to beat. So, man, he's so confident right now. He's going to be so. That's kind of probably the edge that he's looking for in a situation like that. These guys, man, it amazes me, the games that are played that you don't even know are games half the time.
That's exactly right. I think of Neal today. I feel like every rider in every class, they probably look at the GNCC schedule, and Neal on screen right there, but they probably look at the schedule and they circle the ones, okay, I can win this one. I can definitely get top 3 here. This track I'm terrible at. I'm going to shoot for a top 5. So all these riders, they looked at where we're at today.
10 seconds.
So you're at 10 already. So Bryson Neal looks at the Burr Oak and he says, I've won the last 2 on this track. He circles it. I'm so glad we're coming back here. I know I can win this one. So he had the confidence even before the flag flew.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. 20 seconds right there, folks, is what we just saw pass between first and second place, and about another 15 seconds back to Walker Fowler now in that number 3 position. It'll be interesting to see how far back that we're going to see Adam McGill. Like I said, he didn't seem, he's about another 15 seconds off that pace right now. So, hey, this is about where Adam was a couple of weeks ago in West Virginia. When Adam McGill's at this place, this juncture in the race, do not count him out.
Yeah. No way around it. It's absolutely right. I think of that
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. I think also at this point in the race, you know, now you've got the added element. They're going to get into more and more lappers,
and that's
from here on out.
And that's going to help this rider who had a slow start. Yeah, Jared McClure, he's running back some 20 or so seconds behind McGill right now, but he's been ever so slowly closing the gap up and trying to inch his way into more of a solid top 5 position. He is in 5th. That's pretty solid. He's got a pretty good lead now over Josh Merritt, who has dropped off to the number 6 spot, but still a good ride so far today, I think, for Josh Merritt. But McClure, he's going to be trying to reel in Adam McGill, and we've seen those guys. We've seen them at Camp Coker. Remember when Adam ran out of fuel and his bike stalled and he got punted in the back by and he crossed the finish line ahead of Jared McClure. So we know those two have battled and probably likely will battle again if they get to see each other out there on the course. So will they be able to pick that speed up, close in on Walker? This could get interesting. I mean, we've got a very interesting scenario setting up the possibility of a good situation setting up here that might leave us all with our mouths wide open when this checker flag finally flies today.
Rodney,
that's exactly right.
I'm not sure if you guys saw, but I'm pretty sure that was something hard that just went by. I'm not sure what his pit boy said, but
it looked urgent.
Yeah, and he looked pumped, you know. He had his hand up in the air just now going around this corner.
Sweet.
That's good for him.
Yes, it is. And
another thing that's good for Preston Neal ahead. Right
Man. You know, and that's good because, I mean, you need that confidence, especially on days like this, late in the season. You need, you know, these are the good times to have stuff like that happening for you. At the 7-mile marker now, the FMF PowerPoint is what we call this section of the racetrack here this week. Flying Machine Factory, folks, it's got a little bit of a challenge in it, no doubt about that. There is the number 4. Wow.
Every time you see Preston Neal, it looks like he's further, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say that 20-second gap you were talking about was between Neal and Richardson. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's, I'd say every bit of still, if not more than 20 seconds.
Yeah, we're looking
and then, another 15 back to Walker.
Yeah, every bit of it. Yeah, so we're wow. I'm amazed. I mean, I guess we're still 1 lap in. We're 2 laps into this one. I'm sorry, working on lap number 3, and we're about 8 minutes, less than 8 minutes out from the conclusion of lap number 3. Doing the math and doing the time right now, lap time's in that 27.5-minute range. We checked in at 51 minutes. Next time around is 7 minutes. That should put us at an hour and 18 to 20 minutes, so another 27. Yeah, so we're probably going to see this is probably, I don't know, but I would think that the 2-lap board is already out, I'm thinking, and we might get to see a white flag on this time around. I don't think they're going to, they'll run them long because they'll be around that 1 hour and 50-minute mark or a little over if they stay on this pace that they're running right now.
It's so funny to me when we have a race like this where you've got a guy out front that is normally Walker Fowler by 20, 25, 30 seconds. It's almost like we're in the booth trying to find anything to talk about because it's like he's running away from it. What are we talking about? But today it's Neal out front, and it's like it's so exciting to watch something different. And we just got word from Adam Gordon. Sounds like there is not a 2-lap card out yet, but that doesn't mean they can't throw the white flag.
Exactly.
That actually happened this morning for the 4x4 in WXC race.
And that's
2-lap card?
2-lap cards are kind of like a courtesy board. It's like a white flag. You can throw a checker flag without throwing a white flag to it. Those, like the white flag and the 2-lap boards, those are just courtesy flags. So it's the green flags, the yellow flags, the red flags, and the checker flags that really mean the most.
Yes, exactly.
So right now, again, just minutes away from the conclusion of lap number 3, we'll get a more detailed look at what the distance between first and second place. We're talking 20+ seconds now. I'm thinking maybe even as much as 25 seconds. There's McClure. And of course, you know, with McClure up to that number 5 spot, I don't know how far. It was about 20 seconds back to Josh Merritt. I'd say it's probably in that 30-second, 40-second range right now. But like we said, confidence levels for Merritt. I know he's got John Glotta right there, only 3 seconds back. Hunter Hart was there. So this is a good place for Josh Merritt to get some good competition, some good racing, and get himself ready to go for maybe breaking into a top 5 more on a consistent basis. And Merritt is still solid in that number 6 spot right now.
I think he's about 20 seconds off Jordan.
Well, it hasn't changed much then when you look at it like there.
Look at Hunter Hart. He caught up.
Yeah, Hunter Hart is right there now.
Oh, wow.
And Dad giving him the pit board again. He's definitely he's making up some time.
Oh, that's John.
John Glotta.
Yeah.
John Glotta, yeah, running.
So they're all right there, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's yeah. So that's Merritt, Glotta, and Hart in the 6th, 7th, and 8th place positions. Now overall, I don't know if he's physically moved up into that position yet or not, but the 703 of Austin Abney should be seeing Chris Borich, the next XC1 Pro Class rider, checking in here in a few moments. His struggles, they're real today, folks. Don't think they aren't. For whatever reason, he has not had the race day that anyone expects a rider like Chris Borich to have. And there he is. So he's still got the physical 8th place position on the racetrack right now, or 9th place position on the racetrack. But Austin Abney, I think, still has him on adjusted time here at the 8-mile marker. Well, folks, an hour and 15 minutes into this race, and you know, this time of year and this being a Yamaha weekend and everything, a lot of Yamahas up front. Bryson Neal's Yamaha's up there, Cole Richardson's Yamaha's up there, Walker Fowler's Yamaha up there. Let's take a look at this week in Yamaha history. And with that, we're going to go back to the, I think it was the 2007 Powerline Park GNCC.
1 year before I was born.
This week in Yamaha history takes us back to the 2007 Powerline Park GNCC in St. Clairsville, Ohio. It was an early October fall when riders like Charlie Mullins getting the early lead on his Yamaha, and riders like Jimmy Jarrett from Ohio, Ampro Yamaha's Barry Hawk, Australia's Glenn Kearney, New Zealand's Paul Whibley, Ohio's Robbie Jinks, and the Isle of Man's David Knight, and more reigned supreme. Ampro Racing Yamaha's Charlie Mullins had grabbed the early lead and set sail on what he had hoped to be a win in his home state of Ohio. Lurking in the background, some 30 seconds back through most of the race, was David Knight, who had come from the Isle of Man to claim this championship after dominating the world enduro scene in Europe. Jimmy Jarrett moved into the number 3 position, following behind the number 3 of Charlie Mullins. Mullins, who had dropped to the number 2 position after David Knight taking the lead on lap number 4, and Mullins back to the number 2 position. A quick pit stop for David Knight, and the hammer was laid down, as was the gauntlet. Mullins tried as he may to bridge the gap, but could not do so, eventually succumbing to issues and falling out of the race, leaving riders like Barry Hawk on his Yamaha to defend the honor. A dry and dusty and very rocky race course in St. Clairsville, Ohio left a lot of challenges for a lot of folks, but David Knight met every challenge and conquered every obstacle that day, taking the win by 4 minutes and 20 seconds over the rest of the field. As David Knight showed his dominance that day, another battle was ensuing back for the number 2 position, as Ohio's Jimmy Jarrett was able to capture the 2nd place position with not far behind the number 2 of Barry Hawk on his Ampro Yamaha. And that's this week in Yamaha history.
Yeah, the Knighter really showed dominance that day in Yamaha history, no doubt about it. But, man, you know, Barry Hawk, you know, he seems to be a part of history, period. When you talk about GNCC in history, Barry Hawk's name always seems to pop up there. Here we go. We're rolling toward the finish line. We're about a minute out, and I just can't get over the beauty of those trees right now and the colors that we're starting to see. And over the course of the next 2 weeks, what it's going to look like here in southeastern Ohio. But right now, we are also watching the beauty of poetry in motion of that one ride that is being handed out right now by the number 2 of Bidwell, Ohio's Bryson Neal, as he makes his way now onto the moto track. Look at that. You can see how fast he's going by compared to that left rider just getting, hey, man, somebody's coming real fast. I'm getting out of the way.
Going back to Barry Hawk real quick, this is more on the bike side of things, but did you see they officially announced Coastal Racing Gas
Yeah, I did
in
see
2021?
Yes, I did.
I wonder if that's going to be like together, or is it kind of, just work together?
Coastal Racing is the new Gas Factory team is what it's going to be.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so you can check out GNCCRacing.com for more details and information about that. Follow a link along on social media as well. And speaking of social media, it is burning up right now if you're a Buckeye native and you're here in the state of Ohio, my friends, because Bryson Neal fans are going nuts right now.
Two lap
board is out.
It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a 2-hour and 15-minute race then, or about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So we're going to go long on this one. And here's the big question: endurance.
Yep.
We talked about they made that gas stop early on. They didn't take a lot of gas. I mentioned that they could maybe go the entire race under the conditions in one of these ATVs possibly. If they can or if they can't. Interestingly, we still got a lot of questions to answer right here. And with the 2 laps now, I was kind of anticipating they're going to throw this one, but there's a couple variables to throw in there: the race conditions, the track, the weather. I mean, why not let these guys really go out? Because sometimes they get a little bit short, sometimes they go a little bit long. But this right here will be the true test of the man today. Who is the man here in Ohio?
Exactly right. Will
Bryson Neal be the man? Will Walker Fowler be the man? Will Cole Richardson be the man? Will Adam McGill be the man?
That's right.
How about Jared McClure? We had, Sneaky Snake, a.k.a. Cole.
Oh, yeah.
This is the perfect scenario for Jared McClure to sneak up and find himself in a position to take a win today.
That's right. It's one of those scenarios. He could link up with McGill, who hooks onto Fowler, and Fowler makes a push. Those guys just follow right behind him. This thing could completely mix up before it's said and
done. And he's a master of that, man. I'm telling you, with the extra time he's got out there on the racetrack, it could be afforded him, that's for sure.
And Bryson Neal, he was giving signal to his team that he wanted one of those hydration drinking things. I'm not sure what they used, but he had the hand motion. And it looks like Walker Fowler's going to pit.
So
these guys going to get a little
an
more
extra
fuel.
Shot of gas. This might not be a bad idea. And hydration is, I made mention of it earlier. Even though it's not necessarily the hottest day out there, it's sunny, it's warm, and it's dry. But you're still, you're going to still need. And if you're on an ATV, especially, you need to keep hydrated. Interesting scenario here. They are going to pit Walker Fowler again. Let's see how much gas he takes on this stop.
Already half full.
Yeah, that's from the first stop that they had. This will be all the gas that they're using on this one, and
no goggles, just a little fuel.
Wow,
be safe.
Wasn't much, just a top off, but Walker has ran out of gas here before and putted and barely made it to the finish line, so that may not be a bad move on his part. Maybe some other guys might pit next time around. The other guys might just roll the dice.
It did look like, as they pulled the camera shot away, I did see Mark McGill out there, so it looks like McGill pits, and there he is. So Mark McGill, Adam McGill gets a little fuel as well.
From the mustache, Mark McGill.
From the mustache himself.
So here we roll, and it is all right. Here's the official times we were talking about. 34 seconds now between Bryson Neal and Cole Richardson. Walker Fowler 18 seconds back in the number 3 spot. Adam McGill another 17 seconds back in 4th. Jared McClure is 35 seconds back in 5th. In the number 6 spot, Josh Merritt, 36 seconds back. 7th place, John Glotta, 10 seconds off the pace. Hunter Hart, less than a second behind Glotta. There's a good battle going on there right now. 9th place, Austin Abney, has not checked in yet in the XC2 Pro-Am class. I don't know if was he talking to me?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, but anyway, watching to see whether Abney, I'm wondering if Abney's keeping a good pace today, and he might actually get up a little further in the overall adjusted time.
He is in 9th right now.
Yeah, he is in 9th place overall right now, according to timing and scoring. Chris Borich has not checked in for lap number 3 complete yet either, so not necessarily that's necessarily a concern, but it certainly is noteworthy. Chris Borich in at the finish line now, just went through on board the number 3, Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's saying that he's only 14 seconds behind Hunter Hart, but I got to tell you, man, that seemed like a longer 14 seconds. It seemed like I talked to a minute and 14 seconds. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
1 minute and 14 seconds. Didn't see that one out front of that. So that does make a little more sense. And that might, well, obviously keep Abney in that number at least 9 spot overall. But again, I'm curious, is he further up in the pack than that on adjusted time right now? Wesley Wolf has checked in, physically 10th place on the racetrack.
Rodney, you know what would be a crazy idea? In the future, I would love to see, team tag racing. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. In the future, I would love to see, like team tag racing. That would be sick. Quads, bikes.
Yeah, team aspect. There used to be the world hare scramble. The hare scramble championships of the world used to be ran right here in Athens County by Action Sports. They've ran all around this area and stuff several times. But that's an idea that has taken seed before, Ryan, and it's been a lot of fun. We've seen guys. I've seen Jeff Russell racing in it with Scott Plessinger and guys like that. Terry Cunningham racing into that. Scott Summers. I mean, different guys like that. But anyway, back to the race here. Look at this 2-mile marker. Just past the 2-mile marker. It is Bryson Neal still holding on to about a 35-second lead over the rest of the field with 2 laps to go in this one. It's going to be a 5-lap race, Mikey Waynes. What are you expecting? What are you thinking? Do you think Bryson Neal has the long haul in him? Do you think he has that extra?
I think if I'm Neal, part of me wishes that they just threw the white flag, but he's doing so well. I mean, he's got such a good gap on these guys. If he stays within his own helmet, and right here is a perfect example. Where's second place? Finally. That wasn't Richardson.
There's Richardson right there.
There he is. So there you go. So
40 seconds.
So he's got a comfortable lead right now. I think if you're Bryson Neal, you stay in your own helmet, you just ride error-free, knock on wood, and bring it home.
Well, 2-lap card out, Todd Ely, and just got a text wondering if it's white flag or 2-lap card. 2-lap card is out, and that means that we still got a long way to go in this one. So some guys, I'm sure, are pretty stoked about the extra lap. I'd say Walker Fowler's a rider that probably is okay with an extra lap out there right now. I don't want to call it an extra lap because it's not.
That's true.
It sounds like we're adding stuff on. Yeah, but
you're going to feed those conspiracy theories.
Right, exactly.
Oh, they're doing 2 more laps so Walker can catch up. I can hear you guys at home.
You weren't supposed to say that out loud, Mikey.
Yeah, but you ruined the secret.
I can hear the people at home now. Comment section are blowing up.
Hey, I'd say it is a Yamaha race, but wait a minute. They're all Yamahas up front, so it doesn't matter.
You're top 3.
So it's not a Yamaha conspiracy, I can tell you that. They're happy just to have top 3 Yamahas right now. They don't care what order they come across.
Well, like you said, Walker Fowler, he'll probably be okay with, 1 more lap. Well, not 1 more lap, but a longer race. But on the other side, Bryson Neal, he's probably like, why is the white flag not out? Like, he's probably going to start thinking of doing math, So that's just not good, doing math. Johnny Gallagher, he actually even said that to me. I think it was West Virginia. He was doing math before he even finished his 2nd lap. And like, all right, how much laps am I going to do? All right, we're going to have this much laps. So if I take this long, I'll do this much lap,
Yeah.
That's what Bryson Neal's probably doing. Which
he's probably thinking, oh, doggone it, miscalculated that one.
Yeah.
But regardless, man, we got a 5-lap race ahead of us. We have got a barn burner that is set ablaze here in the hills of southeastern Ohio. Will it tighten up? Will it stretch out? Will Bryson Neal make it 3 wins in a row here in Ohio? Stick around to find out. GNCC Live continues with the Burr GNCC after this.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lieb, the director of On Track School. How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com. where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association, racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track, and we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer, we win, and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
And welcome back to GNCC Live in Millfield, Ohio for the Burr Oak GNCC, the Yamaha Burr Oak. It is Ohio 2.0 back here at the Russell Family Farm as we take a look at your amateur rundown on how things are breaking down as far as the top 5 or so in the amateur ranks. We'll do the top 10, I guess, as we take a look at the XC2 Pro-Am class. Or no, we'll go to the Senior B 40-plus class to kick it off, it looks like. Jason Flaviano, the 407 dude, got the coolest looking Yamaha quad I've seen on the track out there today. Gets the whole shot. Nick Lambruno in the number 2 spot now out of Morgantown, West Virginia. 3rd place, the number 391, Daniel Dakota out of Lansdale, PA. 4th place, 232, Scott Wilhelm out of McMurray, PA. And 5th place, the 801, Robert Stevens out of Warren City, Pennsylvania. 6th place then Ivo Pahalik on the 393. 7th place Bobby McCauley on the 449. The 524 of John Colvin rounds out the 8 in the Senior B 40-plus class. XC2 Pro-Am class, Abney out front of Brandon Owens now 44 seconds back in the number 2 spot. Wyatt Wilkin another 3 seconds back in 3rd. Drew Landers 45 seconds in 5th. In 6th place the 714 Ronnie Rush. Then in 6th place Noah Mickelson. 7th place will be the 191 of Kenny Schick. 8th place Tanner Walker, the number 18. 9th place Michael McAvoy. He's 8th place, 9th place, or that 9th place is Michael McAvoy, and then 10th place is 622 of Dylan Walraven. Started out pretty strong in this early part of the race, if memory serves me correct. Now to the College Age 16 to 21-year-old class. The 908 of Steve Harrell out of Elk Ridge, Maryland, out front after 3 laps.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And of course, got 1 minute and 20 seconds ahead of the 311 of Alex Tiemann out of Waterford, Ohio.
Bryson.
The 470 Chase Allison out of McClellantown, Pennsylvania. 4th place, the 715 Devin Masters out of Morgantown, West Virginia. Trey Seifert out of Center Hill, Florida in the 5th place position. Then is Corey Vanderliner in the number 6 spot on the 805. The 403 Cody Forrester is 7th. 8th place, the 415 Davis Brinson. 9th place, Gavin Jenkins aboard the 510. And rounding out the top 10, Zach Knight, minus a couple of names in that one including the 171 of Grayson Eller, who has a knee issue after an AMA Pro AT or an AMA 8 motocross in Houston, Texas last weekend, unfortunately for him. Junior 822 plus class, Nick Davidson, the number 39 out of Steubenville, Ohio, leading this Junior 822 plus class in about 36.5 seconds ahead of the 896 of Britt Henke from Parkersburg, West Virginia. 3rd place, the 541 of Justin Eisen out of Metamora, Indiana. 4th place, the 44 Justin Miller from Hughesville, Maryland. Rounding out the top 5, then the 352 of Dylan Taylor from Fairland, Indiana. These guys are kind of late, right? Oh, no. We see that Nick Davidson has checked in that number 1 spot. One of the riders who's one of our top amateurs. He was on the event T-shirt here last time we were at
you're right. I do remember that.
And he's got himself still leading the Junior A class. Britt Henke, Justin Eisen, Justin Miller, Dylan Taylor, your top 5. Then Brad Inderell in the number 6 spot on the 357. It is the 359 of Alan Blavos in the number 7 spot. 144 Zach Wright in 8th, 9th, and 711 Jonathan Cramble. 10th place Alex Elioff on board the 317. Next up, we take a look at the went back to the Junior A. How about the vet A? 412, A.J. Kuntz. He says when he does well, he's A.J. When he's not so well, he's Tom. So A.J. Kuntz out of Ortona, Pennsylvania, 19 seconds ahead of Big Papa P, the 21 of Tracy Pickens, who is the husband of Big Mama P now. That's what I started calling her yesterday. The 12-time WXCC champion, Tracy Pickens. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. But that's Jeff Pickens in second. That's his wife, who's got 12 championships, by the way. 275, James Green out of St. Mary's, West Virginia. Fourth place, the 120, Aaron Hendershot from Mansfield, Ohio, who I believe got the whole shot in this class. Michael Lancaster, the 807 from Morgantown, West Virginia, in fifth. And sixth, Brad Whitehead, the 25. Seventh, Dirk DeCesar, the number 30 machine. Eighth place, 727, Dallas Goins. Ninth place, Chris Conklin aboard the 35. And Brian Wolf rounding out the top 10 in the Bet A 30-plus class.
Really? Brian Wolf's racing?
Different Brian Wolf.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
No, that is the same. You're right. Absolutely.
Really?
Thanks. I was like, wait a minute. Medina, Ohio, 341. You're right. It didn't even dawn on me. Yes, he is in the 30-plus class.
Double duty.
See, it's good to have Brian around, man. He keeps us on our toes. There's my nephew coming in all the way from Richmond, Kentucky.
Oh, God bless.
Actually, Berea, Kentucky. If that's a little south of there. His birthday's coming up tomorrow. I came up to the Burr Oak.
Burr Oak.
His birthday. T.J. Barrett, Senior A 40-plus class. Morrisville, Kentucky, leading there. Mark Batson, thank you guys for dinner last night. Brisket, smoked macaroni and cheese, and green. Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, it was good. Again, thanks to the Batsons in second.
Bryson on screen through the Monster Mile.
Why won't they clear that? I'm like getting so mad.
You want to see them clear it. They need to go full send.
Yes,
right now, Bryson's thinking, I want to win. I don't want to risk anything.
I need to see someone land on the rock and not have their back tires.
Once they get white flag, if Walker Fowler's not up into that number 1 spot, maybe he'll send it for you.
Yes. All right. I'm counting on Walker.
There you go.
All right, Senior A 40-plus, Barrett Madsen, Brian Axline, the 356 out of Keymer, Maryland, in the number 3 spot. Jeremy Gouchard out of Mansfield, Ohio, in fourth aboard the 422. Fifth place, 723. The Marble Man, Tom Mascala, got the whole shot in this one out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, running fifth right now. Craig Wilson, the 361, and sixth out of Crooksville, Ohio. Brian Poltz in seventh aboard the 536.71. Dale Batson, and 363, Ed King in the 9th place position. Batson's their brothers there. Former motocross riders. They ride for the Media All-Stars team, by the way. Dominic Stevens, the 413. Walker up to second. We're getting word that we might have a change in the running order. Let's keep an eye. And there he is. He is into the number 2 spot.
All right, please hit it, please.
There's your chance, Ryan.
Nope. Of course.
No, he knows too.
You gotta understand, there's quads that are about 400 pounds or something like that, dude. That's a long.
But I feel like if it was dry, I feel that rock is like slipping. You know, like their wheel keeps like spinning. I think if it was dry, someone would clear that.
So how far back is Richardson going to be now? Or is it going to be Adam McGill?
Yeah, see, this is the kind of things that fall into place for Adam McGill here late in the race. And like we said, there he is, McGill, 521, up to the number 3 spot.
Do you think Cole Richardson had a problem, or was it just...
I don't know. I'm getting a phone call right now from somebody who's out by the start. So I'm going to try to get to that here in just a couple moments. But... try to maybe call him back here in just a second. I want to finish this rundown for you real quick. College B 16-21. Dominic Stevens out front. Caden Ryan in second. Ramey Wilkinson is third. Braylon Secura in fourth. Jacob Fleming rounding out the top 5.
Jordan McClure are in fourth? I didn't see.
Correct.
Yeah.
Junior B 22-plus class. Chris Leak in the number 1 spot. Nick May in second. Colton Kasuda in third. William Wallace in fourth. Corey Pancake in the number 5 spot. Vet B 30-plus, Jason Ellis, the 420 in the lead by about 2.5 seconds over to Cody Stewart, the 813. Ben Dunlap in third aboard the 383. Cody Holcomb, the 489 in fourth. And David Kite rounds out the top 5. And that is a look at your Motorcycle Mechanics Institute top rundown of our amateurs as we roll through this one. Guys, take this for a second. I'm going to return this call. This might be about what took place out there.
Might have an update. So Bryson Neal on screen right there going up the FMF PowerPoint. We know we got the report, and we'll keep our eyes on it. See how close Fowler is here in the number 2 spot. That was not him. But Richardson, we've not seen Cole Richardson. We've seen Walker Fowler come in second. We've seen McGill in third and McClure in fourth. Now keep in mind, Cole Richardson did not take fuel, I believe, on the last lap. Is that correct? I think the only guys that did was Bryson Neal.
Neal didn't.
No, forgive me. Fowler and McGill both got a splash of fuel.
Yeah,
I think Neal still got to stop.
I mean,
you would expect.
Yeah.
If he didn't on the last one, he's probably going to need a splash.
Yes, but I feel like Cole Richardson may have crashed. Apparently, what Rodney said.
I did hear Rodney say the word crash, but I don't know who he's talking about. We'll find out here.
That was the update.
That was it?
That's exactly what we were talking about. It's Cole Richardson at the 5-mile marker. His bike is broke. The incident, whatever it was, whether it's a breakdown or whether it was a crash, we're just getting reports. He's okay. Bike's broke down. They don't know for sure whether or not he crashed. They just wanted to let us know that he's okay. He's at the 5-mile marker and things like that.
That's good, but not good.
Right,
but
exactly.
Good, but not good.
Exactly. And I know exactly what you're saying there, Ryan Amancio, that's for sure. So, wow, Walker Fowler moving up to the number 2 spot, McGill in the number 3 spot. We heard you talking about McClure up to 4th now. That should bring Josh Merritt back into the top 5 position. Remember what we talked about? The switch flip. This might be the bit of confidence he's looking for. I'm telling you, I'm expecting it to happen. I really am. The kid's in too great a shape. He's riding too much. He works out with Josh McGill all the time. So, I mean, we're going to see a breakout ride by Josh Merritt eventually.
I think you're right.
I got 2 things. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
All right, so I feel like Walker Fowler, it may be just me, but I think Walker Fowler is starting to close up on Bryson Neal just a bit, but I think he's closing a bit, and Austin Albany went back down to 10th overall.
Right, losing a little bit of time. That's a very, very interesting point, Ryan Amancio. Mikey Wayne's your point.
So I was going to say, do we know if Neal pit? If he didn't pit, if he's going to need a splash of fuel?
Neal did not pit, and neither did. Well, he pit the one time. You remember he did pit.
Correct.
Well,
yeah.
Yes,
but he did not pit a second time yet.
For that little splash, I think it was only Fowler and McGill.
Yes.
Well, I think most of the everybody else did make a quick pit stop.
Okay.
The only riders that did not. The only riders that did not pit were your front 2 riders, Cole Richardson and Bryce Neal, according to Dave, which is Cole Richardson's dad.
So if Neal checks in, has to get a splash of fuel to send this thing home, that might be enough for Fowler to catch him.
Well,
maybe.
You know, when we're doing the math right now, I mean, if this stayed consistent from lap to lap in these riders, and there was no gains made by Walker Fowler, no losses made by Bryson Neal, and the only thing we're witnessing is the absence of Cole Richardson, we're still looking at a 55-second, nearly 1-minute gap that would separate first to third. Now, late in the race, Walker Fowler saw the 2-lap board. That might be inspiration, especially seeing Cole Richardson off to the side of the track. He's thinking, I'm up to second now. I got time.
I got a shot.
I got a shot at this, so I've got time. So maybe, maybe we're right. Maybe we are seeing that gap start to close up a little bit. I'm not going to swear to it just yet, but we are going to find out here pretty doggone soon. There went the number 7 of Hunter Hart. Hart was in that number 8 spot behind John Glotta. I did not see Glotta go by, so I don't know if he got by him or if Glotta stretched it out just a little bit over.
Glotta went by.
Or say, okay, so Glotta is still out ahead of him there. And you got to give it to Glotta, man. I mean, this kid has taken some licks this year. And in this off-the-wall season, he's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle, so to speak, being a rookie and everything. But, quietly, he is doing exactly what he needs to do to be a solid and I think competitor in the future, and I think we're just getting a glimpse of the iceberg right now. Speaking of which, there it is, the 712 of John Glotta. He ran an ATV motocross. I think he's supposed to be doing some more. He did.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he went down. He rode with the Phoenix Honda team down at Lake Sugar Tree. And from what I understand, he may be going south of the border and riding down there as well. So it'd be interesting if that's
I want to ride there at south of the border. It looks so fun.
It's pretty nice. By the way, if you're an ATV moto fan, you can go on to atvmotocross.com. They've got one more round, like 10 points separating the championship between your defending champion Joel Hetrick, who is trailing your 6-time ATV motocross champ Chad Wienen. Really, really good weekend of racing should be down there for that.
I watched the 2019 season. it's so entertaining, you know. You're like, get him.
It is.
And then like Thomas Brown comes in last round of last year, and almost gets Chad Wienen, and like it gets to the point where the Thomas almost goes over the bars, trying to get into the corner, you know?
Ryan's on it.
I know, dude. He's a motorcycle GNCC racer. He knows about ATV
It's
motocross.
fantastic.
That is pretty cool.
We were talking 250 Pro Moto before the race today, so you're all over the place, man. Basically, if it's got 2 or 4 wheels, runs on high octane, you're in. VP Racing Fuels, you got it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, speaking of Chad Wienen, a good friend of mine, Justin Carter, used to be his personal trainer way back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had no idea. I worked with him at Toyota the last 3 years at Supercross, and just we happened to be talking about it one day. I was like, really? Small world.
That is, yeah, that's interesting. And, well, whatever he helped him with, and it got him on the right path. There's no doubt about that. Speaking of paths, we're beating the path here at the Burr Oak GNCC, closing in on 1 hour and 45 minutes. And, wow. I just got another text in message. His quad is throwing flames out the exhaust.
Coals.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So evidently it's a mechanical issue that's going on. So that's good news.
Well, that's good, yes.
That's good news for Cole Richardson.
Like I said, good news, but not good news.
Right, exactly. So we're going to bridge. We're going to make the hour and 45-minute mark. So, I wouldn't expect it, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it wouldn't be a surprise if you did go ahead and see a checker flag come out of this one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If they don't, I mean, they would still only get 15 minutes later than normal. So.
Right, and that's not too out of the ordinary for these guys. I mean, they're used to running that 2 hours, so another 13 to 15 minutes is not going to be that much of a big deal for these guys.
I mean, but if you're like me, I'm not sure if they do it, but I always look at the times. I always look how much, if I'm in first, I always look at time, and I mark my own lap times to see if I'm going better, like faster, or if I'm keeping that same pace. And if I see that I'm going again, and there's only about 10 minutes till the race ends, normal time, and they're still putting me out, I would probably get like, come on, why? Just put out the flag, you know? Like, but I'm guessing that was Bryson Neal because the drone is moving forward, so.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. From a spectator point of view, I don't want it to end.
I don't
want to go another one. I want to see how this thing shakes down.
But I have to imagine anybody that is a Bryson Neal fan right now is thinking,
think that is Bryson Neal.
let's end it.
Yeah.
1 hour 46 minutes into this race, and we are expecting to see a white flag come out. 2-lap board came out last time around, so
let's see if checkered flag will come out.
I think we're going to see a white flag, guys. I think they're going to hold steady.
I think you're right.
I think they'll hold.
The maestro, Ricky Towery, will know for sure.
Exactly. We are preparing for the possibility, though.
Look, I think it's almost as Bryson Neal is just chilling out, like seeing who's in second. Like, he's not pushing the limit right there right now.
It'll be interesting to see what that gap's looking like, too, as he heads through these chicanes here at the Yamaha Burr Oaks GNCC.
Look how slick that is.
Heading toward the finish line, and the white flag, I believe, will be in hand by Ricky Towery, and that's exactly what it is. 1 lap to go.
Bryson Neal under his helmet right now is saying why.
Well, 1 hour 46 minutes 50 seconds is the unofficial time that I'm reading in that Bryson Neal has been out on this course right now. When he checked in there, 1 hour 46 minutes and 50 seconds. Technically, I don't know where it's written in the rules what the technical rule on it is, but some say it could be ended now, and others say it needs to go a little longer. Regardless, we're going, and that's what the race is, and it's going to be a 5-lap race, and we're going to see what this gap is. Remember, we did the math. We were about 55 seconds, 54 seconds or so, probably closer to 53 seconds that separated Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal whenever they went through the finish line at the end of lap number 3. A lap ago, and that was when Walker was in the number 3 spot. Now Walker has moved into and inherited that second place position as he winds his way through the moto track right now. And yeah, I think we are looking at possibly more than a minute, because right now,
around there.
Yeah, we're
20.
That's impressive on the part of. Now, will Bryson Neal stop? Yep, they're going to stop Bryson Neal right now for a quick splash of gas as well.
I think they would. I feel like it would be the smarter idea of they filling up the tank at least, like only till a quarter's left of like getting it full, because they don't want what happened with Walker Fowler and no gas, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's what they're trying to avoid right now. But look at this final lap of racing. Bryson Neal on his way home to history. I mean, literally history. 2 wins in Ohio, 3 consecutive wins at the same racetrack.
Yep.
In 2 years. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that has not happened in GNCC racing history.
In addition to that, when's the last time Walker Fowler lost 2 in a row?
Oh.
Just before the break.
Was it before the break?
Remember, he lost to both Cole Richardson.
Oh, you're right.
He came back at the high voltage GNCC capture number 60, and then when we came back to Beckley,
Dang, I thought I had GNCC history. But you know what it says about a guy, though, when we're sitting here talking about, well, Walker Fowler, he's not doing what he's in second. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And we say the same thing about Caleb when he ends up second or third. If your bad day is still a podium finish, that's what separates the champions from the rest, without a doubt.
This is from experience. I don't care if I get second. I don't care if I'm a second behind. If I get second, I'm mad, and there's no getting me happy about it.
Don't matter if it's a second or a minute and 1 second, right?
I will be mad, and I will not take it. I don't accept losing. Losing is probably the worst pain you probably will feel, unless you win the championship while getting second. That is probably the best.
That is. I always feel bad for the guys that wrap up a championship with a third or fourth or a second. It's like,
It's like, who cares? I won championship.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it kind of I think the number 1 plate overshadows it. So, and Walker Fowler, and speaking of championships, Walker's not in a position to clinch the national championship right now. Just an FYI for you.
But I think,
however, I mean, he gets, he's closer though, because I think Cole was second in points. And and then Bryson would have to drop back to 3 with the remaining rounds of racing. Not saying that Walker's championship is in jeopardy by no stretch of the imagination, but he just can't clinch it. The only way that his championship would be in jeopardy is if the next 3 rounds of racing he scored 0 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's most likely not going to happen. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, and then at the end of the year, Rodney, you jinxed me. It's most likely not going to happen.
But or if Bryson Neal has the talent, I mean, he does have the talent, but if Bryson Neal can be, I'm trying to find consistent. There we go. If he can be that much consistent in winning the next 3 races, Walker Fowler, he would only have to stay in second, and then I'm pretty sure at Ironman he would clinch his championship before the race of Ironman.
Well, most likely, I haven't done the actual mathematics on it, but I mean, Walker's in really good control of the points lead. There's no doubt about it. You know, we were mentioning Chad Weenan there a few moments ago from the ATV Motor World. You know, the consistency, and Chad Weenan doesn't win every moto, doesn't win every round of racing, but what he does is he's finished on the podium every round of racing in AMA Pro ATV Motocross since 2012, except for 1 race where he had a chain break at Redbud.
Yes.
See, he even knows.
I know. It's blowing me away.
Because the thing was, 2018, Joel Hetrick lost his championship, which was supposed to be a #1 champion at Loretta's, right?
Yep.
But his chain broke, something like that. And then it came back, and now it hit Weenan at Redbud, and he had the points lead by a ton. And then after that, I'm pretty sure they went, I think Joel Hetrick was 1 point off.
Yep.
And then Joel Hetrick won.
He's after my job, man.
I love it.
He's after my job.
I love it.
He knows as much about it as I do, it sounds like. Good. I love the fact that you're a race fan there, Ryan.
I love anything that has 4, 3, 8. I don't care how much.
4, 3, 8.
Like I like it. I don't know.
You like race? Yeah, that's me, man. That's.
Yeah, you like 2-wheel racing too, right?
Would you watch a good unicycle race too?
Oh, unicycle.
See, throw a motor on it, he's in.
A flat track unicycle race or something like that.
We need to get you and your dad up to Indiana. We'll do like NHRA, like drag racing and stuff. Ed. You can feel that in your chest, man. It's something else.
Like over summer break or something, we just have some fun stuff over there, like tag team racing.
Hey, quit talking. You're setting up. I'm already starting to circle my calendar right now. Right? You better stop, buddy. An hour and 53 minutes into this one. If you're keeping track at home, we're 21 minutes away from a checker flag. We're at the 2-mile marker right now. It is Ohio 2.0 and 2020.
Did you see what DQ and I put on the bottleneck? He made it. It was Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, and instead of back in the saddle again, it was back at the Penton again. So then it was funny. I can't remember who made the comment, but somebody said, I said, we don't care what you're calling it. We're still calling it the John Penton. And someone said, well, for those of us old enough, we remember it as the Burr Oak.
Right.
I said, you're probably the same people that had Aerosmith on cassette. I was like, and I can say that because I did have Aerosmith on cassette.
I had Aerosmith on cassette, and even though I didn't start announcing on a consistent basis till 2002, I still remember it as the Burr Oak GNCC. And the Burr Oak GNCC here today in 2020 has Bryson Neal going for 3 wins in a row here in his home state of Ohio. 20 minutes out. Can he hang on to the checker flag? Will Walker Fowler pull one out of his hat? Stick around to find out. GNCC Live continues from the Burr Oaks after this.
When you crave the canyon passes, rocky trails, rutted tracks, the podiums and personal records, it becomes part of you. The choice now is, do you become a wanderer or the wanderer? You just need to ride where you belong.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
It's hard to put our adventures on hold, but now is the perfect time to prepare for their return. AMSOIL has your back with fast, free shipping, and ordering has never been easier. Just look up your vehicle, select your product, add an oil change to your cart, and check out. Spend $50 on AMSOIL products and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
So I grew up when I was younger racing motocross, switched over to racing woods. When I was 18, started working for a small shop in Florida called TF Racing Suspension, doing suspension, motors, kind of got away from racing and started wrenching for some guys in enduro cross. And then a few years ago got an opportunity with KTM to start working for them. Worked for Ben Kelly for 2 years, and then this year I'm working with Jesse Ansley in the XC2 class. So when I started mechanicking, I kind of stepped away from racing. Now I like to buy older vintage stuff with my father, and we restore them. Just picked up some ATC 250Rs. We have some 73 Elsinore. So the riding side, I enjoy to do it, but would much rather be spinning wrenches and making things nice. Working for KTM's great. They have all the backing, all the manpower. Coming here, it's a full team effort, from the truck driver to the cooks to all the other mechanics, to the crew chief, the motor builders, the suspension guys. It's a big change of pace from working from a smaller team where it's just you and a rider. Working with Jesse Ansley's great. I've actually known Jesse since he was a young kid and have watched him come up. It's a great opportunity to get to work with him, stepping up into the first year of his XC2 pro career. So just working through and progressing and learning every week and being a part of his program at this time in his career has been a lot of fun.
Dirty Mike 625. Michael Hall, the mechanic there on our Motorcycle Mechanic Institute Mechanic Spotlight today. He is the mechanic for Jesse Ansley. And, of course, we're at the 4-mile marker, final and closing moments of the Burr Oak GNCC, the first running of the Burr Oak since 2001. And there is Bryson Neal at the 4-mile marker, still leading this one. 1 minute and 26 seconds when they checked in at the finish line for the white flag. Walker Fowler had a 30-second lead over Adam McGill. Lap times, just to give you an idea, 27:33 for Bryson Neal, 28:06 for Walker Fowler, 28:20 for Adam McGill, 28:19 for Jared McClure in the number 4 spot. Josh Merritt at 28:15. How about it, Josh? I mean, we're looking at good, consistent 30-second gaps outside of the first and second place position through that top 5 right now. And how about it, Josh Merritt? Solid top 5, only about 30 seconds back. He's got about 18-second lead right now over the rookie John Glotta, who he spends a lot of his time training with. So this could be an interesting battle for the 5th place position on this final lap of racing, especially if John Glotta can bridge that gap. But looks like Merritt's turning a little bit faster lap time. Glotta only turned a 28:23 to the 28:15, so that's about 8 seconds difference. It could change.
That's a big difference.
It is, but last lap, young youthfulness, hunger that John Glotta's probably got. So word is, Cole just towed into the pits. As we said, we got a report broken down at the 5-mile marker. His machine, they try to fire up, but shooting fire out the exhaust. We can't have that happening.
No, we don't want any trees burning down on my birthday.
Exactly. Or anytime, really.
Yeah.
But especially on
especially on my birthday. Like, that's important. But how about Adam McGill? He's going to get double podium back-to-back with the win and now a 3rd place.
Yeah.
If everything goes right.
Yeah, and who's to say it's I ain't counting Adam McGill out till the check flag flies, folks. I'm just telling you right now, the way this season's been going right now, Adam's still in the hunt for it as far as I'm concerned.
It is silly season after all.
It is very silly
without a doubt.
But, I mean, grand scheme of things, big picture, I mean, Bryson Neal, barring no issues, like he said, he had that issue there, and I think the closing laps or closing lap and Beckley there last week. It was an issue that he's never experienced. But we got to remember, too, the terrain that we were racing through there and how hard. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised that Bryson Neal's quad held together as long as it did. He was pounding it out there, and that's a true testament to his sponsors and the equipment that he uses on his bike, because he took that equipment to its
limit and then some.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
to the max and then past it. I mean, and he tested every. I mean, those guys have got to be stoked about how good their equipment lasted that day. And even with the small failure that he had, even you can't. I mean, you can't. Wow. I mean, Bryson Neal. I mean, just the dude is hard on. I mean, especially in the mountains, hard on stuff like that. Kind of put me watching him ride. Kind of put me in mind of watching Brian Wolf, who's now riding the Vet A 30+ class ride. Checkers or wreckers, baby. We're either going to blow or go, baby. It's blow or go. Something's going to happen, man. We're either going to win or this bike ain't finishing.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's it.
That's fantastic.
My dad always told me if I get second, I'm the first person to lose.
You're the first loser, man.
Yeah, that's what we don't want.
Speaking of your dad, Ryan, real quick, I said I had a story to tell on you before we get this one wrapped up here at the Monster Mile. I understand you have a very strict diet. Is that correct? Your dad keeps you on a very strict regime?
Really, really strict diet. He does not let me eat anything.
There's Bryson Neal again at the Monster Mile. Okay, here's the story. You were at a friend's pit, and you were having a snack with them, and someone says, and the meatball sub that you ate earlier today, we'll talk about that a little bit too, maybe.
I stole
that was my meatball sub.
I was borrowing it, all right? Borrowing.
He left me half a sandwich. I don't need a full sandwich
Ryan's sitting there eating, and I don't know what it was. They didn't tell me what it was eating, but it was out of his diet regime. And somebody says, Ryan, your dad's coming. Ryan spit out what he had in his hand and threw it on the ground.
Yes.
I do the same thing when my wife catches me snacking all the time, so don't feel bad, man.
I think that's pretty neat. Hopefully your dad didn't hear that, but
we're ratting on you, man.
It's your birthday, man. He'll have to let you slide today. Look at this. All right, let's take a look at this. There's that rock that you were talking about.
That's deeper than it looks.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell you guys, that in order for an ATV to be able to bunny hop that, like what you're talking about, dude, they're going to have like a rocket pack on or something.
Yes, and like you're gonna have to get on that clutch and wide open, brop, and like it's uphill. Yeah, brop.
It's a little different than on two wheels, no doubt about it. But see, that's the kind of terrain. This is they calling this a split rock, I think is what we're calling it down here at the Monster Mile, and very. I mean, even though riders are getting through it, it's hard on the equipment. It's hard on when you come up to it. When you come up to it, you're kind of like, oh my gosh.
1 minute, 26 seconds. That's the difference between Bryson Neal and Walker Fowler to this point.
Is Bryson Neal trying to do what David Knight did for our young
man?
4 minutes and 13 seconds. Has to be one of the longest finishes.
It was a huge one, no doubt about that.
Here's the advantage with bikes. Here, the quad tile only has one line, right? If you take over, if you guys look to your left side of the screen after he goes again, the bikes can go just on the rocks right there.
Yeah.
And
to the
it makes it like there's more line options with bikes. Quads, there's only one or two, and that's it.
They're very limited. You're right.
Three is like really rare.
Yeah.
And then from that rock, you can just kind of wheelie up your way.
Yeah. Monster Mile. Again, it is not necessarily a 5,280 feet in length, but it feels like it's 15,600 and 700 and some feet at that point. 3 miles.
McGill's not letting off, man.
No, he's not. Dude, that win that he took was an inspiration for him on a lot of different levels. And I'm not saying, maybe Adam might have taken himself out of the game for whatever reason. And I don't know what was different in Beckley, West Virginia that day. But you talk to Walker Fowler, you talk to any of these guys, that right there could slow some guys up if they get behind. But the words from Walker Fowler, butter. And that's, when people are riding good and riding smooth, and Walker said he had nothing for Adam on that day. There was no doubt about it. I mean, Adam was just on a different level and on different, just a whole different field of riding that day. And no one except for maybe Bryson Neal had anything for him that day. And then Bryson had the mechanical issues with the machine braking and so forth. So just, and if Adam can get and stay in a mindset like that, he might be more apt to take more wins than what we realize, and I think the rest of the season may prove that point as well.
Yeah.
At the FMF PowerPoint here at the 7-mile marker now, guys, this is kind of an uphill section.
Yeah. And one thing that I was thinking about just now, Bryson Neal, he's not just only winning, he's getting in Walker Fowler's head. So next race, Walker Fowler's going to be like, crap, Adam McGill already beat me, and he's finished behind me. And Neal is he's going to put a 1 minute and 30 second gap on me. And it's going to get Walker thinking, like,
here's an
how
interesting
is he
point to
going
ponder. What
you know?
happens if Bryson, now listen, the last few laps, the last lap or two, Bryson has turned about a 30-second faster lap. Now, obviously, Walker's, I think, maybe gained a little bit of time, but, you know, we had a pit stop and things out there. What if Bryson finds here in the latter part of the lap, that 30 seconds that he found the lap before, and then all of a sudden, remember that 2-minute bridge that Walker Fowler was talking about, how he wanted to beat everybody by, I want to beat everybody by 2 minutes. What happens if the table turns today and Walker gets beat by 2 minutes?
Yes.
Wow. Now, talking about getting in somebody's head.
Bingo. That was going to be my
in his head.
You just, like, Walker, he just got the table turned just on him, you know?
Yeah, so we'll see if that happens or not. That's an interesting thing to think about. But I have to think right now, Neil's probably going into reserve mode, especially after what happened in West Virginia 2 weeks ago. Walker is still in attack mode. Because he's sending it. So I'm expecting Walker to maybe make some gains out there. Lap traffic will probably come into play a little bit and slow Bryson down as well. But I think just the mind games of what happened a couple of weeks ago in West Virginia, letting that win slip away, those little things like that will probably change the face of what this last lap would be under different circumstances.
You know, I think if Neil can hang on to this one and capture a win here, to me, if I'm Bryson Neal, I feel better about this win than I do even the John Penton win earlier this season because all these guys, four-wheel side, two-wheel side, will say the same thing. They want to beat the best straight up. So when you have a race where Walker Fowler goes out there, he gets the ATV sideways, he's got to get it out of it, you know, it's stuck in a rut, whatever the case may be, it's a bad day for Walker and you beat him. But when you can beat him straight up like this, when as far as we have seen, we don't know of anything that went wrong. And speaking of going wrong, there's Borich.
He's stuck.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario for him to be in.
But you got to feel good if you're Neil and you can come out there mano-a-mano and get a W.
Yes, and it's like they're saying too, you know, what you say will always come back to you. It's kind of what happened to Walker right now. Like, he said he wants to do something, it just, you know, turned back around. And I guess it's going to happen to him if he does not pick up the pace. But I feel like Walker Fowler should just, you know, deal with it now because his final lap, like the odds are really, really low for him to either catch up or Bryson Neal have a problem. Yeah. Which I don't want to jinx Bryson Neal because that's what you guys always do. But, you know.
We don't jinx
those announcers.
Things happen when we talk.
They took a hold of my throttle. They grabbed my front brake.
Steered me right into that
Wayne,
tree.
He just jinxed Chris Borich. Talking about problems. Who has problems?
I didn't say anything about Chris Borich.
You were talking about problems.
Probably me.
I saw. Was it your laptop that has the Make Borich Great Again sticker?
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I need to snag one of those.
That is John Bellato Jr. I like his name. I like his last name. Bellato.
It is fun. It does roll.
Adam's got shirts too. Adam McGill. He's got MAGA shirts that say "Make Adam Great Again." Pretty good.
That's a good one, no doubt. Folks, we are less than 5 minutes out. So it's time to get excited. We are 3 minutes and 48 seconds, according to calculations from timing and scoring at this point, before we should be seeing Bryson Neal check in here at the finish line, capturing a historic third win in his home state at the same racetrack. I'm going to have to go back and see if anybody's ever been able to do 3 consecutive wins at their home racetrack. And then on top of that, the way that, well, obviously the scenario, it didn't happen. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just neat. It's just, I don't know. I just find it really compelling to myself that it is like that. And to be able to get 3 wins like that at the same place, pretty impressive.
I'm like thinking, you know, last race we had a person that we like didn't expect until they started, you know, which was Adam McGill, who took the win. Same thing with the bikes. We didn't expect Stu Baylor to get there and just win, but we did expect him to be at top 3, and he got there and won, you know? So, like, that's basically anything can happen, like, literally anything, you know?
Well, Adam McGill, our producer, brings up an interesting point to ponder. I'm going to have to go back and look at some results. What about Powerline Park, he says? Ohio, Walker Fowler very well could have pulled 3 wins in a row.
That's true.
Maybe more. We're going to have to go back and look at the historical value of that. And maybe next race we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that. But, interesting. Thanks for bringing that point up, Adam.
Adam, yes.
Adam Gordon, our RacerTV producer.
I like that. Gordon.
And actually, and thanks to Griff Cotter, the son.
Credit where credit's due.
Credit is credit's due. He brought it up.
We're already doing the credits before the show's even over.
But Griff Cotter is, man, he's the product of the GNCC Racing Nation. No, he never raced. He's been behind the scenes at the office working, getting track crew and, working track crew, getting things set up, working on RacerTV and stuff. Tip of the hat to Griffin Cotter. Really appreciate his dedication, his drive, and his desire to make this a better program and a better show. And he's been a big part of it. Adam's been a big part of it. Dan Reinhardt has really stepped up. Jordan, Dylan, all the guys. Nick, Jeremy.
Solid crew.
Solid team, solid crew. You can't beat these guys, man. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah. And one thing too, Griff. I call him Griff for shorter, but he's actually the guy. Only today he told me he's the guy who does the voiceover of Walker Fowler, how he's undefeated and blah blah blah, and how he's 7 or 5
Well, he does have that
champion,
compelling.
Yeah,
he does have
I didn't know that.
He does have that compelling voice. He is the son of Tim Cotter, our director of operations, and the original voice of the Blackwater 100, and GNCCs and stuff like that.
You guys need to tell me these stuff. I don't know this. Like,
well, you weren't even born. Your dad probably wasn't even born back then, man.
I know, but like. Griff.
2 hours 13, call it 2 hours 14 minutes basically into this race right now. We are waiting the arrival of Bryson Neal on board. And is that him?
I believe so.
I believe it is. Here he comes, folks, riding into the pages of history here at the Burr Oak GNCC. Two-time winner in the same season at his home track, out his back door. Bryson Neal on his way home to Checkers in a 5-lap race lasting 2 hours and nearly 15 minutes of race time here in southeastern Ohio. A few more turns he goes. This will be win number 4 to his credit in his career. 3 of those coming right here at this facility. The momentum that he has going now and the momentum that he had going into the last round, and what's going on, what is the rest of the season going to hold for us as into the final turns, the final push, and to the checker flag, the number 2, the Bidwell Bullet. Bryson Neal takes the 2.0 Ohio win here to Burr Oak GNCC.
And him going on to 2 wheels too, so let's appreciate that.
Rodney, I gotta say, if I'm Bryson Neal right now, he's probably saying, all right, GNCC, there's been so many shenanigans this year in 2020. We never know where we're gonna race. Can we do what Supercross did where they finished the season out in Utah? I want to finish the season out here the rest of the year. The last 3 races right here.
If I tell you, if Bryson Neal has anything to say about it, that's exactly where his vote would go.
But we got to be careful too, because it could end up actually happening if we keep saying it, Be like, all right, we're changing the rest, now we're all just doing it
Do you really think we have that much power with this microphone?
I mean, it could help, and then Bryson Neal could go and say it, and then spread it, and then next thing you know, all social media is GNCC only here at John Penn.
You're starting a rumor is what you're starting. Ryan Amancio said it on the RacerTV broadcast, we're doing nothing but John Penton's from here on out, just so Bryson Neal can win and maybe win a championship. Hey, you know what?
I don't want to do that.
In reality, speaking of, there comes Walker Fowler. In reality, I have to wonder, is Bryson Neal thinking, and especially if he can finish strong throughout the rest of this season, would he be thinking championship, stealing a championship away from him in the 2021 season coming up? That's a good question to ponder. You might need a second one. Take a second wireless down with you, too. Heading to the podium, Mikey Waynes is headed to the finish line right now, and that is Walker Fowler. Will Bryson Neal eclipse the 2-minute mark here? Will he do what Walker Fowler had set out to try to do earlier in the season and demoralize the rest of the crowd and take a huge and monumental win? We're about to find out as the seconds tick away. Walker Fowler into the final turns now as he makes the drive home to the checker flag and his second place position. One more turn, and at the finish line stripe,
so
it
close.
is. All right, 1 minute,
59.6 seconds.
Are you kidding me?
Missed 2 minutes by 0.4 of a second, my friends. Wow. Talk about, wow.
Talk about right
now, here's the story on this one. Walker Fowler can say, I didn't get beat by 2 minutes completely. But then you got Bryce Neal saying, look at that. I almost got done exactly what Walker Fowler had set out to do.
4/10 of a second. That's nothing.
4/10 of a second. That's a blink of an eye, basically, that Walker Fowler was able to pull in under that 2-minute mark behind Bryson Neal here.
How about Adam McGill, though? He finished in third.
He was 30 seconds
race
behind.
for Adam McGill.
40 seconds at the checker flag, and another phenomenal ride. You're right, Ryan Amancio. Look at that. The hugs, the smile. Look at, I mean, that right there. You can't see it, but right now, Bryson Neal is walking on a little pad of air, probably about 2 inches high. He's probably just floating around down there at the finish line right now. So stoked, so happy with the way things have turned out here in his his third consecutive win here at the Millfield facility, the Sunday Creek Raceway. Last year's John Penton GNCC's, this year's John Penton GNCC, and then today's Burr Oak GNCC.
Yes. And I think Bryson is probably the happiest man in Ohio.
Well, it's either between him and his dad right now. I'm not sure which one.
His dad, his dad won. Yep, his dad's probably the happiest.
Well, there's a couple other. Adam McGill pretty happy right now. I don't think that Walker may not be the happiest, but
Walker, he's not.
But again, you can't be dissatisfied. You can't be disgruntled when your bad day is a second place position.
It's a fifth spot.
Hey, yeah, there you go, Josh Merritt.
Spot. Oh,
fourth. No, Jared McClure gets fourth. Yeah, Josh Merritt will take the number 5 spot. Welcome to the top 5, JM11 out of Akron, Ohio. That puts 3 Ohio boys in the top 5 overall here today. That's right. Adam McGill could almost be considered an Ohio boy. He grew up in District 11 racing a lot of Ohio races, so he's kind of an Ohio boy.
Too? Grow up?
Yeah, Caleb Russell. This is his family farm right here. He lived just up the road in Ross County is where.
Imagine living about 2 minutes from a GNCC race.
Well, if you're Levi Cohen, Levi Cohen lives about 300 yards outside the front gate. Believe it or not, he's an XC2 ATV pilot out there with us.
So this had to be his best results. Come on,
no,
he's literally
remarkably no. He never does well here, unfortunately. Levi doesn't. But hey, I'll tell you, man. Right now, the celebrations continue in the winner's circle. Adam McGill taking that 3rd place position. It wasn't the win, but man, he's smiling like it was a win. It has to be a win to be able to back up podiums like that, especially when a lot of people were maybe starting to write your career and say, well, he's coming to the end of his career. It looks like it's next thing up for Adam McGill's retirement.
Yeah.
Guess what? Baby. Retirement is far, far from the conversation as far as Adam McGill is concerned. Well, folks, Bryson Neal takes the overall win here today. As we said, it's 3 times in a row here at Sunday Creek Raceway. Walker Fowler will finish up second. McGill, McClure, Merritt, again in the top 5. Then Glotta, Hart, Chris Borch moves up to a number 8 overall position. Austin Abney will take 9th place overall, and WW Wesley Wolf will round out the top 10. Here's we take a look at that Rocky Mountain ATV MC leaderboard. I think we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get things all ready to go up at the podium, and of course get ready to talk to Bryson, Walker, and Adam about the amazing battles that they went through today, and we'll also probably catch our XC2 Pro-Am guys and get a little quick word in with them, at least Austin Abney for sure. They're on the 703 looking for Brandon Owens in the number 2 spot, and Wyatt Wilkin actually rounding out the top 3. They should be checking in about any time. Let's
Austin Abney, he just got the whole shine, just led the whole thing.
Yeah, he pretty much checker that wire to wire from green flag to checker flag.
That's consistency right there.
It most certainly is. And speaking of consistency, we will consistently be back right after this break.
I like that. That was
GNCC Live continues.
It's hard to put our adventures on hold, but now is the perfect time to prepare for their return. AMSOIL has your back with fast, free shipping, and ordering has never been easier. Just look up your vehicle, select your product, add an oil change to your cart, and check out. Spend $50 on AMSOIL products, and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Grand National Cross Country is America's premier off-road motorcycle racing series. Riders compete on extended cross-country courses of 8 to 12 miles per lap and races lasting up to 3 hours. Up the mountains and through the trees, you'll find the best riders in GNCC. On MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lieb, the director of On Track School. How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association, racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track. And we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer, we win, and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
And welcome back to Millfield, Ohio, and GNCC Live, round number 10 of America's Premier Off-Road Racing Championship, this 2020 GNCC Series. It's all being presented to you by Specialized E-Turbo Bikes, which will have a specialized EMTB GNCC coming up here shortly. That's coming up. And again, at the Yamaha Burr GNCC. Folks, whenever you get to see this overall trophy coming up here in a few moments, you're really going to dig it. It's a pretty cool trophy. You really like what the folks have done.
I liked it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it got a nice oak tree slab there, and they've got it burned in.
Carved it in.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And real quick, just taking a look at some of these other classes as they do check in. We do have the XC2 Pro-Am class in. It is Abney, it is Owens, and it is Wyatt Wilkham, 1, 2, and 3.
I thought Landers was in 3rd.
Drew Landers dropped off to 4th about halfway through the race, and that's
they
where
only did 4 laps.
And there is that trophy we were talking about right there. Look at that ATV.
I want that.
Well, you're going to have to go beat Bryson Neal up and catch him not looking and take it then, because that belongs to him now.
I'm just going to carve my name in and be like, my name's on it, so you can't prove it then.
But wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Really... That logo right there.
Yes.
If you are a GNCC historian, have you been around for a while and you know what that logo right there is so one that it means a lot to you to be able to see that on a trophy like that, and to be able to bring and resurrect that name back like that, it certainly is bringing back some great memories for a lot of great folks. And by the way, just an FYI, when we last ran the Burr Oak GNCC back here in 2001, Bill Balance was your overall winner.
Who?
William Yoakley took 2nd. Chad Duvall, who is Thad Duvall's dad, took 3rd place. Bradley Page took 4th place. And AMA Pro ATV champion Jeremiah Jones, who was doing both GNCC and ATV motocross and TT at that time.
Kind of what like Wesley Wolf's doing?
He took a 5th place position. there here that day in 2001 at the last and final Burr Oak GNCC that took place here in Millfield, Ohio. Watching the checkers wave, Ricky Towery continuing to greet the competitors as they make their way in and around, and still no sign of Drew Landers in that fourth place position. I have to wonder if maybe he might have succumbed to some issues out there of some sorts. Ronnie Rush we would be looking at in the number 5 spot. As far as overall top amateurs, we didn't really talk a lot about that today, but here late in the race we see that Steve Harrell leading the College A class, and Mikey Waynes was talking about him. He is the, I think, the boyfriend to Hannah Hunter. 20th overall today, is looking at likely taking the win in the College A class and a top 20 overall position for him, so congratulations on that.
Isn't that sick? A family, you know, girlfriend gets the championship, like you get a win and 20th overall.
Exactly.
Like,
it's got to be inspiration for somebody, you would think. Let's see. Oh, look at this. I'm sorry. Chase Allison, whom I didn't see up into that number 2 spot of the College A class, is looking at your second place overall position right now in top amateurs. And
donuts, yes sir.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I thought he was going to do donuts, but he did like half, like a 180. And like, you know, look.
Well, he is on the side of a hill. It's a little off camber there. So Bryson Neal exiting the Frank the Tank. I think used to be, you know, that's really cool with Mikey Waynes. That might be a question you might ask him. Is he riding the same quad? And what is this quad's name, if it is? And what are, because he names every quad that he has, and he takes a person. I think
that's really cool.
Yeah,
you know?
He takes on a personal relationship with every machine that he has out there on the racetrack. So look at that. Congratulatory hugs going out to Bryson Neal as he makes his way up to the podium, and to be there with Mikey Waynes, and Mikey getting things separated there. Mikey's got the microphone, he's got the sanitation wipes, so he gives him his microphone, sends him over there, stands way back. It's a little different scenario, a little different situation these days with the COVID-19 and things like that, but you know, we're doing everything we can to be socially responsible and things like that. And speaking of responsible, man, this guy right here is responsible for some history today. We're talking about Bryson Neal. Let's head down with Mikey Waynes.
Well, Bryson Neal, man, big congratulations to you. Not once, not twice, but now 3 times here. We're going to have to rename this one the Bryson Neal ATV race, man.
You know, this. Yeah, test. Test. There we go. But yeah, this track, man, this is Wexer country. This is about 40 minutes from my house, and all my Wexer tracks, all my local places, just like the soil here. And you know, I really wanted 3 in a row. This is like my Southeast Ohio. This is my one track, and I look at it as kind of like my territory, and I want to defend it. And, you know, I had bitterness in me whenever I left the last race because I was leading on the last lap with 3 miles to go. I really wanted it. You know, we was in position that we should have won. Looking at now, 3 of the last 4 races. We've been riding super good. Everything's just clicking right now. And, man, I'm just super fortunate, you know, I took a little spill out there in the first lap. Walker and me got together when I was going for the lead, and went back down the hill, but got back up and was able to track the guys down in the dust, and just fortunate enough, you know, to get out front and be safe on this really dusty, demanding, hot track. Get out front, get some clear trail, and bring home for all my hometown fans and all my friends and family that came out and supported me today.
Well, Bryson, one more thing for you. It's Rodney and I's job to stir the pot, so I'm going to stir the pot right now. Earlier this season, Walker Fowler had mentioned he really wanted to get an overall win by 2 minutes. I don't know if you know or not, but today you beat him by 1 minute, 59 seconds, I don't know what. But boy, it was daggone close.
0.6.
0.6, thank you, Rodney. So 159.6, that close.
You know, it feels good because Walker, he's been whipping up on us, you know, the last 5 years. He's just flat out had it figured out, and I'm to the point now where I'm getting it figured out, and I'm not saying I'm going to win by 2 minutes or anything like that, but it's just not going to be as easy, I feel like, all the time for him to win. It's going to be some good racing, and good for all you guys, for the fans. That's all we want, you know, and we're just looking forward to more bar-to-bar racing, and hopefully clicking off some more doves for the end of the season.
Congratulations. There is Bryson Neal, your overall winner here today at the Burr Oak GNCC.
Well, congratulations. Did we get the name of that quad by any chance? What's the name of that quad, by the way, Bryson Neal?
Bryson, what's the name of the quad? Yamaha? Yamaha. What's the name of it? Yeah, what's her name? Nugs? He calls her Nugget, Rodney.
Well, Nugget did him some good today, no doubt about that, as his little Nugget took him right to the winner's circle. Nearly by 2 minutes at the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. Congratulations. Man, 3 wins here consecutively at Millfield, Ohio. Just an impressive feat, no doubt about it. Historic to be able to do it 3 times in a row in your hometown, basically like that. But, you know, with the way the season 2020 has worked, being here 2 times in 1 year, this is something that may not ever happen again for anybody as far as that goes. But regardless, still just a stellar day here. As speaking of stellarness, here comes a stellar one himself. We're talking about our champion and second-place position finisher here today, Walker Fowler. Let's head down to Mikey Waynes.
Well, thanks, Rodney. Down here with second-place finisher here today, Walker Fowler. And Walker, man, talk to us. It seemed like a day. Things seemed to be pretty clean for you, going well. No major mishaps, but a second-place finish walking away from it.
Yeah, you know, we got off to a good start. That's a start that we, you know, we need to get off to. Dusty conditions, and, you know, I think it was Bryson or Cole behind me. I'm not sure, but I know by a couple miles in, it was Bryson behind us. And, you know, I just tried to just play smart. I'm not 100% healthy yet, and I'm not 100%. I'm not going to be 100% this year. I'm going to have to take this year and the winter break and work hard and get back to it. You know, get back to my winning ways. But I expected to get beat by more, so you know, I'm pretty pumped. The last lap, I actually had a really good lap going, and right here towards the end, I hit a tree and got hung up on a sand berm because that's what the dirt ended up turning into. And I was like, oh, just don't get beat by 2 minutes. Don't get beat by 2 minutes. So, you know, a minute 59.6. I was relieved. So I'll take that, and you know, a good points day. So yeah. Other than that, is pretty uneventful.
Walker, that sums it up. Rodney and I were talking about that. It kind of separates the regular riders from the champions. When we talk about Walker Fowler having a bad day, you're in 3rd or 2nd place. I mean, that's still a pretty daggone good day.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't a bad day by any stretch. I expected a lot worse last race, and I had two weeks to, you know, work harder. And I knew if this place was going to be dry, it's about speed, and I just don't have the speed right now. Bryson had a lot of speed. We got together that first lap. You know, he's never once gave me a wheel, and I'm never going to give him one, and he got the short end of the stick this time. The last time we were here, I got crashed on the last lap, so we got to the same section, and I didn't even try the hill that he went up. I was like, you know what, let him have it. We're just holding him up. And, man, he got to the lead, and he just checked out, and I knew I didn't have anything for him, so there was no sense even trying.
On to the next one. That is Walker Fowler, your second place winner here today at the Burr Oak GNCC. And one more thing also, Walker Fowler, there you go, $100 whole shot award courtesy of All Balls Racing. And want to say hello to the fine folks watching on RacerTV. I was just told that Ken Hill, here, snag that too. Ken Hill wanted to give a shout-out, and we give a shout-out to Ryan Hill, who is deployed right now. So I'm going to hold the mic up to the fans. Ryan Hill watching while he's deployed, serving our country. You guys make some noise for Ryan Hill. There you go. Hopefully you heard that all the way over there. And big congratulations, Walker Fowler finishing second. And turn it over to you, Rodney. Adam McGill starting to make his way up on the podium now.
Wow, what a day, and a true champion. I mean, tells it like it is. There's no doubt about it. And being relieved, 159.6. I like those words. But, man, what a great day for him. But how about it for Adam McGill? Stellar performance for him. Just trudged along, did exactly what he needed to do, put it all together, comes away with a second consecutive podium here in the GNCC. He's taken the win in Beckley, West Virginia a couple of weeks ago, and now to the 3rd place position and to Mikey Waynes.
Thank you, Rodney. Adam McGill's getting rid of his post-race Gatorade. Here, hold that. And that's met with roaring laughter. Adam McGill, back-to-back races, podium finishes. You turning back the clock or what, man?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I'll take it. At this point, we'll take it. I mean, I'm riding better than I have in the last 2 years, and honestly, maybe it's the Rona. Maybe I just needed 2 weeks down, and now I'm back. So, yeah, I honestly, I think it was just reconnecting over the break and being able to just relax and enjoy my time off and not really stress about it and travel around and hang out with friends and family. And then, you know, about time when it was time to get serious again, we buckled down and got serious. And the win in West Virginia definitely helped. And we was looking pretty good here. And I just, man, I couldn't run with them guys. When it comes to that dust and running that dust blind, this old scaly gator ain't got it for that anymore.
Well, man, talk to us. You're coming off the win a couple weeks ago. You come in here, you finish third place. We had a mid-race interview with you that you'd done prior to this when you talked about fishing. So did the fishing, the time, wetting the line, did that make the difference?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to throw the line out and let it bob a little bit, you know what I mean?
That's perfect, man.
Yeah, so, yeah, being able to take some time off, like I said, and reconnect has definitely helped a lot, you know, and not putting so much stress on myself through the week. If I don't feel like riding, I don't feel like riding. If I don't feel like working out, I don't work out. And, man, the older you get, the harder it is to come to realize that. And I think being able to listen to my body and obviously listen to my wife now, it's definitely made a big difference for sure. And, obviously the bike setup, we made some changes there. My dad finally got off his butt, called his brother and apologized and said, you might be able to set up a race car. So he set up an ATV, and they did a pretty damn good job with it. So hats off to, to my father and my uncle for helping with that. And, I mean, the bike just worked really good, man. I'm happy. I'm pumped.
Well, there you go. Big congratulations. That is your third place finisher here today, Adam McGill.
Well, the Gator does it again, my friends. Chomp, chomp, and look at that. It's on that podium.
Dad.
And good stuff for McGill, no doubt, and good for the GNCC Racing Nation, my friends. That's going to wrap things up for us here on RacerTV.com. We will be back coming up tomorrow for the two-wheel racing action where we celebrate more of the Burr Oaks GNCC. Stu Baylor on the T-shirt, already sold out on a Saturday, and the fans are rolling in for the 514. Will he be able to make it 2 wins in a row, possibly here at the Yamaha Burr Oaks GNCC, or will Caleb Russell rise to the occasion on the family farm? There's a whole lot of ifs and a whole lot of whats, so stick around and join us again tomorrow. We'll be back with more RacerTV.com racing action and GNCC Live. On behalf of Ryan Amancio, Mikey Waynes, and all of us here at Racer TV, great day, everybody.
Don't forget, it's my birthday.